One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all. And in the darkness, bind them.
Even the smallest person can change the course of the future.
Oh, hello there. Welcome to Mischief Mayhem Movie, episode number 33. Me and White Bear. I know we seem like we're a little barren. Our other host, Vex Electronica, will be along shortly, running a little behind. Copa Catania's on baby duty tonight, so he will not be joining us, but he's with us in spirit, goddammit. So that's why Whitey takes center stage. Look at you, buddy. You're moving up in the world, man.
I know. Look at me now. with my fresh hobbit hair and all
fresh
that.
hobbits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're here to talk about Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring. So this is a part one review. This will be separated into two parts because we're doing the extended edition movie reviews. So we have, since it's a 4-hour movie, we didn't feel like doing a 6-hour stream. So we're going to break it up into parts. The next part 2 will be at the end of the month, and we'll shout that out and give you all the details. But yeah, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, 2001. This movie came out. Epic fantasy adventure, directed by Peter Jackson, based on the 1954 Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien, of course. First installment of the massive trilogy. We do have some special guests that are joining us temporarily. We have more guests coming. Actually, Andrew will be joining us here shortly. But for now, let's bring on our first guest, and that would be Mr. John A. Douglas. John Douglas, how you doing, sir?
Oh, hello there.
Oh, he's busy reading Lord of the Rings.
Hang on, I've only got 1,200 pages to go, and I'll be ready. Okay.
We had to bring we had to bring the fantasy guru on to the stream, of course. Obviously, this is the, I guess, fantasy of all fantasies. I don't know. It's considered the best of all time. So
One the grandfather of all, arguably.
There you go. Well, I'm glad you can join us again. It's 2 times in 2 weeks, buddy.
Thank you, Mr. Bag and Bigfoot. Appreciate
it. Our second guest.
And I am ready.
Oh, yeah. What does he say? What about second? What is the other thing he calls it? Oh, God. 11sies. What about 11sies?
What about 11sies? I don't think they know about 11sies.
They don't know about 11sies.
No, that was a whole separate meal. Everything he listed was a different thing. What about 11?
He got an apple though. He's
one of those weirdos that refers to the later meals as dinner and supper light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about this, of course, with you, and then we're going to bring in our next guest, the man himself, Lance from the Outcast Creatives. How you doing, sir?
YouTube monetizing has changed. I feel it in my bladder. I feel it in my bank account. I smell cannoli honks in the air. The lush revenue that YouTube once was is lost. For none who have made a YouTube partner in the last 2 years remember it. It began with the forging of the great ring pieces. 3 were given to Vex, princess of the cross-stitched pattern cushions, unfairest of all beings and ruler of the kingdom of the dead cats. 7 were given to the Gourd King, ruler of the potato people, who above all like to dig deep in a ring piece and search for gold or any missing change. 9 were gifted to the kingdom of the cannoli, who above all else desire power and cannoli. And when he's been good on the first Friday of the month, Mrs. Cannoli served with a dollop of whipped cream. But they were all of them deceived. For in the land of obscure children, 1970s television shows within the fires of the Red Hand Gang's headquarters, the Dark Lord Ego forged a secret master ring piece, one whose farts would dominate all others. And into this ring piece he poured his malice, his hate, his lawnmower, a set of Black & Decker power tools, his all-terrain Humvee, and his secret double life as a 70s actor, James Bond III. One by one, many YouTubers felt his power, the gas emanating from his powerful ring piece. But there were some who resisted, and this tale that should have been forgotten for sure were lost. Took me ages to write that, you know.
God, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. What a beautiful.
Did you get an abridged version of this book?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Canoli channel adapted version.
Appreciate that. I
Apologies for my
appreciate you, man.
lighting. It's very late.
No,
here.
you're good. That's
I
okay.
don't know if I want to put on the full light. It's like going to blind me.
I see everybody in the chat. Jacob Ironside, thank you for dropping by, of course. Always a pleasure to see you around, sir. Please subscribe to his channel. Congratulations on hitting 200 subs the other day.
Yeah.
Good man. Good man. Good man. Logical Spock is in here. Left Eye Ego. What up, Left Eye? Actually on time for once. That's nice, Ego. Good for you, buddy. Those stereotypes aren't true. I don't care what people say. Roman of the Empire, my man, you madman, you. Appreciate you dropping in. Love it. Lytical. How are you? Love it ever after. Love it ever after. Jesus, I am so sorry. I'm like thinking of the old. It's been a long day for me. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Sassy. New name, Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch. That is her new channel name now. So
Don't forget the whipped cream.
don't forget the whipped cream. Do not forget the whipped cream.
First Friday of the month.
Hey, the safety inspector's here. Appreciate you. Yeah, no safety violations. Not
See
yet.
that guy everywhere.
Not yet, buddy. Not yet. Sharpie. This is the Mrs. Vex Electron. Mr. Vex Electronica. Jesus. Sorry, buddy. She'll be with us soon. She will be with us soon. Her and actually Angela will be dropping in soon. So relax, everybody. Baldo T. Hey, buddy.
Baldo.
Thank you. And then MMM. Another MMM. Miss Martin Muses. Thanks for dropping in. And then got people coming over from looks like Mr. Douglas's channel. Andrew Campbell. Thank you. Whoever's here joining us, please.
They show up whenever my channel goes live. So we are simul streaming to my channel. Thank you for everyone who decided to come on over.
Appreciate you guys.
I am the guest, not the host.
He's lucky you. No, I'm just kidding.
You're the ghost with the most.
So we got to. So what we're doing here basically is going through the movie in parts. So this is going to be part one. We're going to scrub through the beginning. Oh my God, my information just died.
Dun dun dun.
My information died.
Use my new abridged version.
I got it. We got it. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry, Sharpie. I expect that from Vex at this point. No, I'm just kidding. It's okay. She's on another stream. She will be here shortly. But yeah, we're going to scrub through because the long movie. So what we're going to do is the first half on this stream, and then the end of the month, we're going to finish off with the second part. And there will be no trivia tonight, so don't expect that from Vex because we're not ending the movie tonight. So, but might as well move along. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Part 1. This is a extended version of the movie, which is to me the better version. Do we know exactly how long the differences are for the two cuts? Like what is the other one, just 3 hours and 20 minutes or something?
I think for the first one, it's about 30 to 40 minutes difference, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the original movie was I think it was bang on 3 hours or just over 3 hours.
So they added
and just so everyone's clear, amongst not just people who like the movie, but people, especially in fantasy circles, really the extended edition is considered the edition. I mean,
yes, it is.
Most people either disregard or completely spit on the theatrical versions.
Mm-hmm.
And I completely agree with that. Like there's some things in these trilogies I can't believe was cut, although some of it I can see why.
Sure. Pacing
wise. I mean, Peter Jackson said that he was forced to cut it on the base of the running time that the movie theaters wanted, and also the fact that people would need to go to the toilet, which I can vouch for. That was definitely true.
That was very true.
Yeah, 2 hours and 5 minutes between all the films extended.
Wow,
version.
That's a lot of time. So yeah, the movie starts off right away. You got Galadriel, played by Kate Blanchett. Good casting, by the way. Yeah, not the Galadriel we got in the Rings of Power, thank Christ.
She was originally going to be played by Kate Winslet, by the way.
Really? I could have maybe seen that actually.
Yeah,
it maybe would have fit. Yeah,
I don't know. She's a little.
Kate Blanchett is a better fit for an Elvis.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett, much better actress. Hey, Theme Park Casual, thanks for dropping in. So yeah, this is basically the introduction into the movie. You find out kind of where the ring came from, why it was made. It's really a good intro because it sets up the whole story very well, and it gets you. I always tell people if you can, the first 5 minutes of the movie bring you in, especially something based off a book.
Yeah.
Where you can't get all the context. They do a really good job setting everything up. They show you who had the rings, why they were made. They show you the land, what was going on, and of course, can we say Mordor? Mordor. Mount Doom. How again, like I said, the ring was made, and I tell you what, it starts off with the battle scene which is fantastic. By
There's
the
a
way.
really
And
good
by the way,
sense of geography
yes.
Yeah.
in this
Excellent.
intro.
And
I
by
would
the way, this
also-
is 2001, and the CGI here looks better than movies now.
Yeah.
Most,
It's
for the most
insane.
part. For
which
the
is
most part.
It's insane. And look,
scary.
I appreciated this because this intro because I did not know the lore and all the shit and everything
Yeah,
going
me
into
neither.
the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Something similar was done with the original Dune movie. The television cut
Right.
had a 10-minute lore dump with matte
Wow.
paintings and stuff that
Yeah, I've
for
got
lore
that version.
nerds. Yeah,
Lore
for lore
nerds.
nerds, it was great to watch, but like for casual viewing, probably put a lot of
Yeah.
normies to sleep.
Hey,
This is
Tim.
much more concise and better.
This is great. This is great. So you see Elrond in there with the elves, and you see basically everybody's coming together to fight.
Yeah.
What the hell's the bad guy's name? Jesus.
Sauron.
Sauron. Yeah.
Sauron.
Sauron. So, and I love how she's explaining how the ring can't be destroyed because his spirit's bound to it, unless it's thrown. Well, we find out later how it's destroyed, but just intimidating this scene with this dude's walking up, towering over all the people and the soldiers. It's like, oh,
Don't undersell the music, especially in
the
this scene right
soundtrack is
here,
fantastic. Yeah,
because
and
he
he's
just
just
sells how
swiping
intimidating
away
he is.
people.
This was a great shot. This was one of my favorite shots. Right
he's
here,
just swiping away people,
bodying dudes left and right.
Yeah,
so
each
good.
hit takes out like 6 guys.
Yeah, and it's intimidating and it's scary, and they do a great job building up the villain immediately. And even though he's not in the movie for 3 movies, like it's just his spirit basically in a ring. They set this up so well that you feel his presence throughout the whole trilogy. It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, he's not in the book either, you know.
Right. But I'm saying, like, if that's how you, and look at this. Look at this. You see this dude coming at you, reaching at you. It's like, okay.
Although,
So I just-
if you play the old turn-based RPG, Lord of the Rings, The Third Age,
Mhm.
you play with this secondary fellowship that follows the first fellowship. You actually end the game on top of the fucking tower, fighting Sauron's eye hand to hand. It is awesome.
That's badass. Yeah. And then
It's
here you get,
ridiculous.
Well, as long as we all
awesome.
admit that Battle for Middle Earth was the best Lord of the Rings game, you know.
No, it wasn't.
had that on the shelf
come on, Whitey, Jesus.
What?
What am I supposed to do with you? I'm just kidding.
That's a great strategic game.
I'm
Love
just kidding. And then
I
here,
haven't played
this
that one.
this was a great scene where
Good,
they think
Right out.
that, so this is the king's son, right? At the
Yeah,
sealed door.
It's sealed
Sealed
door.
door. So you're gonna have to help me with the characters. This is, I just too many of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is great because he's about to get Solomon's about to reach down and grab him, and he grabs his father's sword after it's stepped on. And he just slashes away at the fingers and this big flash of light, and then his spirit disappears, and then boom, the ring's just left there. Which
Isn't it funny that he disarms him almost by accident?
Yeah,
A little
It's
crazy.
not really a big act of heroism. It's just that he grabs the broken
it's
hilt
an
and
accident.
just
It's 'cause it's
flings it,
luck.
and he just happens to catch his finger and chop him off. It's almost like a fluke.
I agree. This is one of the best intros. Of if you did not read the books, it sets everything up very well for the movie. So like John was saying,
without the book,
if you're just a newbie or somebody who didn't read the books, like I didn't read the books, I went back and read up on some things that were similar and not so similar from the movies to the books. But yeah, for somebody like me who's a newbie getting into this is a great intro because it sets everything up in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And,
one of the best exposition sequences that a director's ever done for a film.
Yeah.
I would say,
Easily.
if not the best.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Yeah, so this is Gladriel just explaining how the ring just basically corrupts men's hearts, or everybody actually, but especially men, because men are weak. Not men in general, just human beings are just weak, and they creep. This thing just it's fantastic though, because, and especially later on when you find out that the ring could have been destroyed, even on the first time, and it wasn't. You're like, God damn it! It's could have ended this whole thing. But yeah, so the king's son loses the ring, gets killed, loses the ring, and it just sits for what 2,500 years at the bottom of this lake or river, and then it gets discovered by our favorite friend, Smeagol, and
professional strangler.
Yeah. And and one thing I will say, the cinematography, the landscapes was in New Zealand where they filmed this.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
added so
God,
much
was
to
it
this.
gorgeous?
really
And
incredible production design.
Actually, no, Sharpie. You're not the only one.
when you think about, like, I could not have imagined being a Lord of the Rings fans hearing that they were, excuse me, coming out with this, because they nail so much of this. And some of the purists were a little ass mad, as I like to say.
Yeah.
In a lot of the things that didn't get made or didn't get included. But like this is definitely an abridged version of the book.
Sure, of
and
course.
it takes some liberties. But the difference
Jay.
between now and what we have back then when this movie was made is it really is in the spirit of the book. To a T. I don't know that Tolkien himself would have liked it. He was notoriously cranky about the adaptations of his work that were made, but I don't really think you get better than this.
No, it's fantastic.
I don't know. I think he would have been pleasantly, he probably would have liked most of it. And let's face it, no one wants to see a 20-minute Tom Bombadil scene.
I disagree. Anyway. There's some purists that's exactly what they want.
Well, yeah, but he puts them he rescues them from a willow that puts them to sleep for half an hour. I don't know how exciting that's.
And this is one of the scenes. So where you see, what's his name, the Hobbit here? Jesus, I can't think.
The character Ian Holm,
Dildo Shaggins.
Bilbo.
Yeah, So they show how he got the ring. Well, of course, if you watch the Hobbit movies, God forbid you, they explain more about how this happened. But they show how he got the ring, and this part here, I like. They took this out of the original.
I think all of this extra stuff is brilliant because
I love this because it sets up the hobbits. It tells you who they are as a people.
You get a sense of their history, their life on a daily basis, everything.
It's great.
Right. This is fantasy comfort food for me. Like I love this opening so much. It's not even funny.
No. It's so good. Because you really, like you said, you get to learn who these people are, why they do what they do. They just want to be left alone, grow crops, smoke their stuff.
And how much importance
drink
that they set into just a party.
Right.
The funny thing about the books, the hobbits are actually in the books very paranoid and somewhat mistrusting. Right. You see how they kind of talk about the big folk a little later on. In the books, they don't even like their own fucking neighbors.
No.
Can I curse? Is that okay?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay. Like they talk about hobbits that live like on the other side of the Shire as if they live on the other side of the country.
They are too.
They could, they call them, I can't say the word because it's the Q word, but I don't want to get you demonetized or anything. They have a distrust of they think other hobbits are even weird, and it's very unusual.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cultural thing to distrust there's some called Proudfoot. That's one group of families, and then another group of family don't get on with that family, so they don't like the hobbits that live over the Vale that are the Proudfeet or whichever, and they all come together for Bilbo's party. That's why when he says all the different names, he's talking about all the different groups as well.
Yeah. And this is where we get introduced to Frodo. Of course, he's sitting and reading and writing, and then of course Gandalf. Look at that angle. Did you fought, Frodo? But
no.
This is great. Again, another great intro. You get to meet Frodo right away, and then Gandalf, and you get a sense of who Gandalf really is.
There's that of course perspective.
Yes, more is revealed later about Gandalf and some of his abilities. But look at these shots. This is just,
and it's still there too. That's the cool thing.
That's crazy.
Village
is
a nice little tourist destination. All I can think is, how much does it cost to buy one and live there?
Dude, I would love to.
Do you know that the guy who, the farmer who owns that land, when they wanted to come back and film the Hobbit movies, he said, yes, okay, but you've got to rebuild it all and make the materials permanent so it will stay there.
Oh, no kidding.
That's why he gave them permission to come back, because they rebuilt it all. This time using stuff that would last. And then he's minting it from coach loads of tourists that go there by the dozen every day.
Smart.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael Caine, thanks for dropping it. Yes, I do agree. It is
Michael,
one of the
good
best.
to see you.
So he's telling Gandalf, you're talking about Bilbo's got a birthday. He's 110 or 111 years old at this point.
I'm 111 years old.
And then I love Frodo here. He's so innocent. So he's like basically saying, I don't know what's wrong with Bilbo here. There's something off. He's a little crazier than normal, a little off. And then Gandalf's just like, whatever. but they think he's a troublemaker. They think Gandalf. Now, you found out if you watch the Hobbit movies what they're referring to. You understand because they're talking about the things that Bilbo did in his past and how they blame. A lot of people blame Gandalf for what happened. Because these people are not adventurous people, right? They just like to stay within their lane, in their homes, on their property. And when you rewatch, it's not you have to watch the Hobbit movies. If you feel like doing that, please, at your own risk.
Now,
But
I will say, and I can contact anybody after this. My good friend of the channel, William from Bald Book Geek, has a link to a fan edited version of the Hobbit movies that cuts out all the filler, all the nonsense like the dwarf elf romance that nobody liked, and turns all three movies into one good 4-hour film. I've yet to watch it, but I want to.
How do I get my hands on that?
Like the Phantom
I'll DM it to you. I'll DM you.
No, please do, because I would love to. Because I like.
I'd like to see that.
Because
that's what I was waiting for that.
Yeah, I don't own I've got the first one and it's still in the shrink wrap. Never watched it since
I got them. I got when I bought the Lord of the Rings. They came with they come with the digital copies of everything. They gave you I remember there was like a deal for Black Friday where they gave you the Hobbit ones as a free download, and I'm like, why? I'm never gonna watch them, but I got them as a digital copy, not an actual hard copy. But yeah, I would prefer as one long movie. It's probably really good as one.
It really has to be said. The Hobbit movies did not need to be stretched into the 3 movies. I see what they were going for, and they were trying to get it to totally match Lord of the Rings, but it really isn't. It's a children's tale. It's a
you know that Jackson didn't want to do that. You know the studio forced him. The studio wanted money to do
and
that.
It showed. It really showed.
And he doesn't like the films. He's even said that.
It
publicly.
doesn't have any of the magic as this.
No, the feeling's mutual, Peter.
Yeah. So this is where Gandalf's meeting obviously with Bilbo. He hasn't seen him in a long time. And he even makes a hint at, hey, you haven't really aged much. And he kind of gives him this look like, what the hell's going on? You're 100 years old and you still haven't really changed since the last time I saw you. And it's been years since they've seen each other. But you see him keep, grabbing into his pocket. And I think there was a scene, was it here, where he's nervous because he thinks he lost the ring?
Yeah, and he starts frantically looking for it. Yeah. Great music in that sequence.
And then of course they're smoking their pipes.
I love the bit where he does the ship.
Ring. With the smoke.
That got a massive laugh.
Asshole, you show off asshole.
That got a massive laugh in the cinema like that.
Roman, goddammit. Yeah, and this was great too because there was extended scenes in this part where you see more of Bilbo interacting with the people and more just of the hobbits in general. This was great.
Yeah. And the Sackville Bagginses that are looking for him.
Oh, sorry.
Frodo looked like he had a little too much of
yeah. Why are you grabbing me there, Sam?
Come on, Mr. Frodo, we talked about this.
I'm just feeling around for my gardening tools, sir.
Oh, God. Sam was the real hero.
A little late to be trimming the kids.
Yeah, and then Gandalf shooting off his fireworks for the people and the kids. And it looks fun. I swear to God,
they genuinely bring you to a moment. Yeah.
There's Peter Jackson's kids. That's Peter Jackson's kids.
Weren't they the cutest darn things in the world?
They have
easily. Speaking of cute kids, if I can interrupt for a second.
Of course, buddy.
It was my birthday this past weekend.
Yes,
congratulations,
happy birthday,
111th.
And when I got home from work, my daughter gave me this as a homemade happy birthday card.
Oh yeah, I saw
very
you
nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You gotta love with kids. You gotta love the children when they do stuff like that because it means a lot.
This part here is interesting. The book touches on the movie only touches on, but in the book the distant relatives.
They're looking for him,
subplot.
right?
It's a whole big subplot in the book.
It's very, very quick here. He mentions it to Gandalf once in the house when they're trying to find, and then here, and that's
the Sackville Bagginses. That's what they're called. They want his house and they want his money.
They're always trying to borrow stuff off him, and they haven't given him back his lawnmower.
Never did.
Probably
get that
the saddest thing in the book is when Bilbo does go and Frodo gets everything. He actually does give Bag End and a lot of the shit to them.
Does he?
And they very ungraciously are like, well, it's about time, and
Right.
take over Bag-In. But Frodo doesn't want all that stuff because it reminds him of Bilbo, and he feels like it's too much for him anyway.
I don't remember. Was this
I'm
part?
right in thinking in the books when he comes home, the Sackville Bagginses have actually occupied the house.
No, I
Very
remember
flaccid.
him like basically just giving away Bilbo's stuff. I may have to go back and read. It has been a long time since I read it.
I have a feeling when he comes back to the Shire, they're in it or something. But maybe I'm getting that wrong because the Shire's raised, isn't it, in the books? And
I'm due for a
Like,
Lord of the
they
Rings
started
reread.
auctioning off his stuff.
Was
Yeah.
this part in the original movie here when he's talking about his family and how he came to Bilbo? I don't think this was in the original movie.
No.
This
No,
was
no.
what I'm
This scene
talking about.
was- This scene was part of the extended.
Yeah, so this is what's great because he tells him, hey, when your parents were died, I took you in. It's not because of this. It was great because you get all like, oh, this is why Frodo lives with this. I mean, again, if you read the book, you know.
Drunk
But
uncle
for people,
talking to you on his birthday, pouring out his heart a little bit.
but
It
again,
was a
it's
good
more
establishment.
great, exactly, more character establishment.
but
And then
there's also a sense in that scene that Bilbo knows what's coming for him.
right,
If you listen to it and the way Ian Holm performs it, he's almost saying like you're the only one with the real spirit who's going to be able to do what's ahead of you. It really sets it up.
He does say that, yes. And then of
It's
course,
got
this
a
is
nice touch when you watch it on reflection, and there's lots of little details like that really link in
throughout the
well.
movie, yeah. And then this is where Pippin and Merry steal the fireworks out of
Billy Boyd and
wagon.
Dominic Monaghan.
And they shoot it up without realizing it's in the tent. And I love this.
It's,
He's like,
Pope's
there hasn't been a
party trick
dragon in these
exploding.
parts. Yeah, yeah.
1,000 years.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I love how they momentarily make it look like this thing is an actual danger to everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna attack
it just
everybody.
blows up.
Look at Merry and Pippin are funny in this movie. Of course,
Yeah,
they
a
get-
shot of that dragon featured in one of the early trailers,
Yes.
and everybody
Yes.
was thinking, "Oh, there's going to be like this flaming dragon in the movie."
Fooled
And
you.
it just turned out to be a firework.
Oh,
Gotcha.
To pause for a second,
go ahead, buddy.
because it's just occurred to me. Everybody who's watching on this panel and everything, probably one of the best commentaries on this movie is if you go to the EFAP movies playlist where Mahler and crew talk about movies. Their commentary on this movie is fucking hilarious. It's one of the funniest things you've ever heard in your life, because very early on they equate the power of the ring and the battle to get rid of the ring to the drug war, and it's loaded with so many ridiculous drug references and just it is one of the funniest Lord of the Rings related videos you'll ever watch. I watch it very
Damn, I'll have to go
often.
back and rethink
I'll
my
have to
opening.
check that.
I will.
Yeah, there
I
you
will
go.
send you that link. That is hilarious.
Copa, Zax, welcome to the stream, fellow Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah,
people.
Copa's there.
Yeah,
Hail Copa.
he's on baby duty. He's changing diapers as we speak.
Oh,
Good
I'm
man
glad
right
those days are over. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh God, you're telling me, dude.
Had
Yeah, so this is where Bilbo's giving his speech, right? Because he's going somewhere. Nobody knows where. Well, no, Gandalf actually is the only one who knows, right? 'Cause
I've
he's
put
told
this
him-
off for far too long.
Yeah, he's giving a speech, and like you were saying, Lance, he's talking to all the groups, naming them off, and then yeah, he just stops. He's kind of just confused and stuttering, and he pulls
Has a
out the
Biden
ring.
moment.
He does have a Biden moment here. Yeah, and he's basically saying, "This is it. This is where it ends for us." And he just takes off, puts the ring on. Everybody's in shock. He vanishes, and he thinks
that
it's
green screen is
hilarious.
a lot more noticeable now than it used to be.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie.
It is. It is. But 2001, gotta expect that. Yeah, but I agree. Yeah,
But
but he goes
still.
to his. Yeah, and I love how Gandalf's waiting for him in the house already.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
you
yeah,
think
yeah.
that was terribly clever?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he thinks he
yes,
got
I
away
did.
with it. Yeah, yeah.
Have you
This
got
is
your
great.
magician's license? I don't think so.
Look at the size difference. They did a pretty good job with the. Hey, Barry Place, how you doing?
Yes,
buddy?
they did a great
They
job.
did a
on that.
great job.
Yeah.
That perspective
Camera.
is
Perspective is unbelievable.
Mhm.
Like you
Really,
could maybe
really well
a
done.
little bit in certain spots tell that maybe, yeah. But for 2001, this is way ahead of its time with the technology
Yeah.
it had. It's great. Look at this. That would be me in this house, except I'd be bigger than Gandalf. So I'd be hitting my head on all kinds of shit, being a gigantic.
Well, he did too.
Sasquatch. Yeah, true,
Yeah.
but
and I like that they showed it.
yeah, because it's what would happen.
Wait,
Yeah.
wasn't that like unplanned and they just kept it in the filming?
They
If
did.
I-
I'm
They
not
did.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was. When he hit his head on the chandelier, especially.
There's that
In the beginning.
there's that scene here where he goes, "Why shouldn't I keep it?" And
Yeah.
you see for a second his eyes
Yeah.
will light up like the devil.
Yeah. Yep.
And then
Absolutely.
that shot is mirrored
Precious.
again and again in the film with different
Mhm.
people with the ring. That exact same expression, the same angle of the shot is replicated in the movie about
Yep.
7 times with different people when they've got the ring, depending on who it is. It's very clever.
I like
I
this.
never noticed that.
When he says
Yeah.
precious, he says precious. And he's
Yeah.
like, precious.
And
there's
little
only
do we
one.
know how.
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
only one person who called it that. I got that accent. It's so fucking good. He's just, yeah. And then he gets mad. Like you said here, he's where he gets, and I like this part where Gandalf gets pissed and he's like, listen, I'm not trying to rob you, and the whole house gets dark.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, fuck you, Hobbit, you're 4 feet tall.
No,
But, you know, it's like
I actually hold on. I actually think this is a really good way because, like,
Yeah.
if you think about it, we really don't see a lot of Gandalf's magic on display
No.
in the movie.
No.
Mm.
And that little subtle lighting
Excuse me.
trick that he did was a really great way of subtly showing that he's not quite, he's not just a doddering old man who's full
Right.
of bullshit.
right.
That he is, someone who is much more
Should be
powerful than he
Yes.
seems, and he's not afraid to kind of, flex on him a little bit. Come at me, bro. Come at me, Bilbo.
Oh yeah, he
Good
doesn't
man.
want to just stand there and shake him and all that, and uses the magic to kind of just create a moment of intimidation and wake him up out of his little moment he's having.
But he gives
Because-
up the ring reluctantly, but he does give up the ring.
I love that bit. Bilbo, the ring's still in your pocket.
Yeah.
Oh, he had to
so it
pretend like
is.
he didn't know that. Yeah.
And then the sense of the weight when he tips it off his hand, you got that
Yeah.
sound, and it
Yeah.
Oh, that was
makes
great.
it sound so heavy. It's
That
very
heavy
clever.
thud when it hits the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
We will see
when I watched
Bilbo
this
again.
when I watched this the first time,
Thanks,
I was
Jacob.
just you have those moments where you watch a movie and you see an actor and you're like, oh God, where have I seen this guy before?
Mhm.
Every time Bilbo was on the screen, I was doing that
Mhm.
until
Mhm.
I rewatched another movie I knew him in later.
Alien.
No, he was, but I had known him first in The Fifth Element. He was the priest.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, yeah,
Oh.
that's much later than
Oh,
Alien,
yeah,
but yeah.
that's right. Good call.
In one of the best movies ever.
He also played the voice of
Best.
the head chef from Ratatouille, and he was great in that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He's a
That's
good
right.
actor.
He is. Ian
He
Holm,
is
we
a
miss
good
you.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, man,
yeah.
he was a nice man as well. I was lucky enough to meet him briefly.
I love this
sat,
scene here.
sat next to me in a table in a restaurant.
Are there
Oh,
any
no
British
kidding.
actors you haven't met? Seems like
Yeah, I
I've been
don't know.
I've been called by Ian McKellen on my phone, and that gave me a heart attack. He nearly killed me.
oh, that's a flex right there.
God, I
It was like
have nothing for that. I have nothing. To
Yeah.
compete
Is
with
Lance
that.
Nelson there, please? I was like, yes, Ian McKellen here.
Yeah, Jacob. I mean, the whole. It's probably the biggest
Absolutely.
character in the whole movie is the ring. Like to center a
Yeah,
thing
like
about it.
what Lance was talking about, people's reactions to it, and
It was great.
every time that distant look, and I don't know, there's a word for it, but the consistency that they use that over the films of people's reactions, and
Anthony, I wish. I wish, Anthony. That's why we're breaking it up into parts. Otherwise,
do
I
it.
wish if I didn't have to work, I would tomorrow. Yeah, I like this part here because when Gandalf grabs it, he sees the eye and he knows right away, like, oh
Yeah.
shit, this is that ring.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold up. Go back to that ring. I just noticed this after watching this movie for so many years. When it hits the floor, you assumed it hits wood, but that's very obviously brick.
It's brick, yeah.
It's like
Oh,
a
man.
tile.
Is your heart broken, John?
I don't know. I know. I just feel stupid. I get caught up watching these movies, and I just don't know.
I that's fine. I'm the same way. And then yeah, that you just hear him going, he's just talking to himself like precious, he's just muttering and smoking, thinking, oh shit. And of course,
Oh, that sneer.
yeah, I like how Frodo comes in, grabs the ring, and then he's like, oh, he actually did leave. He's been talking about leaving, and this is where Gandalf's like, yeah, he left everything to you. You own everything now, including the ring. So here, you go ahead and hold on to this, and I have to go find out some stuff about this ring.
I'll see you in 13 years.
Now, obviously,
13 years.
Gandalf probably knows. He just has to be sure. 100% certain, but
Yeah,
I think
they
he
squished
knows.
that time a little bit in the book.
Yeah, they
like,
put
They just
a little.
mentioned he was gone for a long time. It was like 13 years.
13 years, yeah.
That shot I love because like you assume it's the tower's like, oh yeah, it's going to be big, and it's so much bigger.
Yeah,
Then it just keeps going and going and going. It's like the main ship from Spaceballs.
yeah. This was a okay. This was a quick scene.
And this tower breaks for nobody.
Yeah, that's right. Stovepipe, what's up, buddy? Yeah, so this part's great here because this is quick though, and they go back to this later on, but this is quick. If you're not really paying attention, if you're obviously if you are, but they show Gollum screaming and you hear him saying Baggins Shire. But it's quick, and then you see the riders coming out, which this is fucking beautiful, by the way. The way that
That's
this whole
great shot.
God, it's unbelievable. And then of course Gandalf's going to find where. So he's going to where is this again?
This is Minas Tirith.
Minas Tirith. Yeah, so he's going to
White
find.
City.
Yeah, the white. That's racist, Whitey. Why's it got to be
What
a white
did you
city?
expect?
That's true. That's why it's clean. No, I'm just kidding.
We're very binary around here.
Nobody's standing on top of horses protesting, okay?
The Shire of Love. Anyway. Yeah.
But yeah, he just breaks into this library and he's like, yeah, I got my own library card. I'm a freaking wizard
good.
and all that, you know?
Yeah, so he goes through the whole back history. Again, he goes through everything and he finds out that this is that ring. There's a picture of a cute dog trying to eat somebody.
This is when the rider, isn't it? Stops
the bad guys.
There's no Baggins is round here.
No, Boggins. They ran over a guy too, didn't the horses run over a hobbit on the way?
Yeah, that's the guy manning the gate in Bree.
Yeah, later on in Bree.
Yeah.
This is an extra scene for the extended cut. Them
Yes,
dancing and a little extra dialogue, and I think it actually adds a lot to this.
This was like a whole
really
chapter
good.
in the book, you know?
Yep.
And the hobbits who do the dancing, they wrote and
Pippin.
did that song themselves.
Merry and Pippin.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they rocked. They
love to
their
drink. They love
characters.
to drink their pints. And Sam's got a hard on for this chick who runs the place. And,
Yeah.
you know, she's taller than him too. That's kind of weird, right? What's up, Houseman Socrates? What's up, buddy?
Some guys
yeah,
enjoy that kind of thing.
And I love his character arc in this movie, Sam, because he's kind of like just shy, reluctant guy, and then obviously by the end of everything, he's just nope, not afraid of anything, and you can't blame him after what he's seen. So, but yeah, this is where they go back to the house, and then they see, you know, Frodo sees everything's just kind of all over the place, and for a second you're thinking, well, these are the riders that got into the house looking for the ring, right? Obviously not. It's Gandalf. Gandalf's in there. He snuck
Not a
into
really
the
good
window.
misdirection. Yeah.
They do a great job. He throws the envelope with the ring into the fire, pulls it out, and he's like, "Yeah, Frodo, hold out your hand. It's really cold."
It's quite it's quite cool. I'm like, yeah, it's a really cool ring.
Yeah. And then he's asking him, "Do you see any writing on it?" And he's like, "No." Right. And then you see Gandalf's like sigh of relief, like, "Oh, thank God." Then he goes, "Wait a minute," and you see his face is like, "Oh shit." no, please don't say it. And you see the writing, it's like Elvish writing, right? A form of like ancient Elvish writing, I believe. And then Gandalf's like, "Oh, yeah, that's that." He's like, "Oh shit.
That is the language of Mordor. I dare not speak it
Just
here.
got real, Frodo.
This is that ring." Yeah, one ring to rule them all.
Did any of you guys get the early DVD special edition box sets that came with a ring?
No.
I got all
one
my
that came with a
second
map.
when these movies come out, man, I was so poor.
Oh, okay.
I could feel it. I was younger.
And these were like $50 at the time.
Hey, listen,
mid 2000s money.
Yeah,
so.
they were expensive.
Yeah.
And I was in my 20s, early 20s, and I was just
the special editions were £20 here, but I remember I bought one that came with a ring in a little box and
they weighed
on a
that
train
much.
and it had the writing on it and everything. But man, it must have been so cheap because it like all the writing went black and kind of nasty, and the ring went green and within about 6 months. I used to wear the ring all the time.
That
sucks.
Sent it back though because I didn't go invisible, so I wanted a refund.
Yeah. So basically, he gives him the whole backstory about the ring, and Frodo's not stupid. He's heard the story. They're always drinking tea, by the way, but that's just what they do in Shireland.
They don't have coffee yet.
No, they don't know what that is yet. Yeah, look at Frodo's face. It's like, oh, why did you give this to me, you old bastard? But yeah, this
I
is,
don't
you
think I
know,
want to.
he talks about Gollum. He's given, and again, this is where you get the backstory of why he was screaming out Bilbo's name.
There's a fan film made about that backstory called The Hunt for Gollum. I think it's free on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, it's worth watching.
Watch that. Okay.
I hadn't even heard of it.
Yeah, it's a good little
Interesting.
movie. Like it's about like half an
What's
hour
up,
long.
Gregory? Thanks for joining the stream, buddy. Yeah, so basically he's like, I can't take it. He knows. He's like, I'm not taking this goddamn thing. And he's like, he basically says, like, I would want to do good with it because of the power that it has, but it turns people bad. So imagine a wizard having the freaking ring. It's end game right there, basically.
Yeah, considering they're basically angels walking the earth, it would
100%.
That would be very bad. There's a really good YouTube channel. I can't remember what they are. They do a lot of lore discussion, but they also do a lot of what ifs. And that was one of the videos I watched. Was what if Gandalf had actually taken the ring, and they kind of go over.
Yeah,
it would not have been good.
The same
it would have been very bad.
one.
Yeah, that would not have been good. No. So
he turned into Saruman.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Gandalf says he's got to go see Saruman to get some guidance here, and he's telling him, you got to get out of here. You have to get out of the Shire. Go away for a while, just whatever. And then, of course, this is where Sam's spying outside the window.
Men of the West or Nerd of the Rings and Tolkien Untangled. Those are really good channels. So.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'll have to check those out. But yeah, I like how he gets himself accidentally brought into this whole thing.
Well, I seriously thought that he got turned into, like, the first time I saw this, because I hadn't read,
you thought he did like a spell or something?
I thought, like, holy crap, they turned him into a fucking horse.
With the pony.
Oh my god. But yeah, so he basically tells him, you're gonna go with Sam, you're gonna go with Frodo.
Yeah.
And he basically gives him a whole backstory. He's just like, this is what you don't do with the ring, this is what you do with it. Just take it and we'll meet here. I'll find you.
Don't lick it, don't give it milk after midnight.
Don't put it on your private parts. It's not that kind of ring.
It is not that kind of ring. If you can
That's
put
a
it on
different
there,
type of ring. But yeah, this movie, God, look at the landscape. It's just so beautiful. I mean, what's up, Dempsey? Yeah, New Zealand is a beautiful, beautiful country. They filmed the Hobbits all at the same location, right?
Yeah, more or less.
There is a 10-hour version of Lord of the Rings on YouTube where every single time in the movie Sam takes a step, it replays that clip of him saying, if I take one more step, it's the farthest I'll ever go from home. And it goes on and on and on. It's hilarious to watch, and only when Sam is on screen does it.
Now this was
an extended cut part.
This was an extended cut showing the elves leaving, going to that special place. What is it called again?
We're out, bitches.
The Grey Havens.
Yeah, that's it. They're leaving Earth. They're leaving Middle Earth
from there
forever.
To the. And
I like this. I like this scene too. Like
very discreetly too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, like they ran into like in the books, they run into those elves, and also an elf, who kind of talks to them for a minute and kind of helps them along their journey. But
yes, Meatball.
You had to leave that out big time. That'd been a full one more hour.
Meatball. For a minute. Where's he been?
What's up? I had to say it. Thanks for joining. Gord King, my man. Gord King's going to be on part 2 of this stream at the end of the month. So.
Gord King, you got a special mention from me at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, you did.
Go back and watch that, please.
Yeah, please do.
And look, just a shot right here when he's.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I really like this. The contrast of what the place looks like before they chop all the trees down. It's about the only time you see it in the film in the daytime, I think.
Now, can we talk about for a second the fact that originally Christopher Lee wanted to be Gandalf?
Yeah,
and he didn't get the part, but they were like, "How would you like to be Saruman?" And I think that was actually much better casting because I mean,
I agree.
Remember, this guy was a villain in so many movies,
right?
And
he's a perfect villain,
for God's sake.
He's a good villain.
Sinister. I couldn't imagine Christopher Lee being warm and inviting like.
I mean, he like literally sang death metal.
He'd wanted to play. He'd wanted to play the part of Gandalf all his life. It was a part he'd aspired to play. He would read the books every year. He read them every year,
and
he knew them absolutely backwards.
And let's not forget one of the greatest bits of movie trivia of all time, where they were in the filming of Return of the King, where Peter Jackson was trying to describe to him the sound that he should make when he stabbed through the back, and he's like, "Do you know, Peter, the sound that a man makes when he's stabbed through the back? Because I happen to know that." Like, and you start to realize that he was a soldier in World War II, and like this man has probably killed people in the exact same manner.
Oh, yeah.
And exactly the sound that someone makes, like, and he tells him in such a nice way too.
Yeah, but so he's getting he's basically just asking information about this thing, and he's like, "Holy shit, this ring is here! It's back, and the power of is back." And it's kind I don't know if you never read the book. Somebody I knew, my buddy of mine, said he never read the book, but he's like, if you didn't, they did not do a good job hiding the fact that he was going to turn. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it was that obvious right away.
I mean, he's only considered on the good guys team for like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it did cross my mind the first time, but I was like, let's see where this goes.
When your castle looks like that, and
the dark black walls.
Like, hey, cover up your Palantir, man. I don't want to look at that.
As soon as he said, "What time do we have?"
Why did you name your wizard's tower the Fortress of Darkness?
Darkness. Yeah.
It's an aesthetic thing. I listen to black metal. You wouldn't get it.
He was a special forces soldier in World War II. Jesus.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Apparently a spy, and then also saw the last execution in France or something.
Yeah,
he's seen some shit,
He's also the only member of the cast who have actually met Tolkien.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was friends with him.
That's very interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so this is where he turns on him. Obviously, he's like, you know what? The Hobbit's not going to save you. You don't think he can actually win against the will of the ring? And Gandalf's like, uh-oh.
There are none who can. It's just a great line.
It was great. So great. And I like this little fight they have. This little, and he's basically telling, look at that face.
Yeah.
It's great, but they have this wizard fight, and and it's obviously Saruman's just too powerful for him, right? He's the white wizard. He's got more ability, I guess you could say.
Yeah, Muller crew like to joke
on his home turf as well. So
they were both high when they were doing this, and it was just
like
two guys windmilling at each other outside of a 7-Eleven. They think they were having an epic fight. Oh my god, yeah, go watch the movies, Lord of the Rings. It's hilarious.
Geriatrics, and then it turns into a Nine Inch Nails music video.
Oh yeah,
it's great. It's absolutely great. But yeah, they
did not think this was very exciting, huh?
Really? I mean, why? Because you wanted to see like more magic, or just more ability, or all they did was talk? Yeah,
he wanted more special effects. It looks like.
I get what you're saying. This is where they're it was pretty good. And you got
I like the fact that the magic in these movies is not like lightning from people's fingers and all that kind of thing. Right. It's much more subtle, and I think the film is stronger for it.
Yeah, it's great.
I think that too.
Yeah, this is where Sam thinks he lost Frodo. So you get this theme that happens, right? He's fearful because Gandalf said, "Do never let him out of your sight. You're responsible for him." And so Sam thought he lost him for a second in this farmland with the crops, and he's like, "Oh shit!" But he found him, obviously. And yeah, this is where Pippin and Merry come in.
Yeah, they've been at Farmer Maggot's crop again.
Yep.
Now, fun little fact. This gets right to the point. In the book, they actually go into Farmer Maggot's house, and there's like a whole chapter with a conversation with the guy. And that was the point when I was first reading it, going, okay, this not only is this different than the movie, this is taking its sweet time to get where it's going.
How many pages was the first book, or the book? Yeah, how many pages was the?
I don't know. What I've got is the omnibus, and this sucker is thicker than the Bible.
You're like, it's thicker than the Bible.
Okay, I was joking earlier. I think this is actually 1,200 pages long. Oh, sorry. 1,178 pages long, including the appendices.
He was an inspiration for James Bond, huh? Wow.
Yeah, well, I think he also knew Ian Fleming, if I remember rightly.
Of course,
because Ian Fleming was also part of the same department, I think, that Christopher Lee.
All right, let's be honest. Whose feet look like this in real life? Come on,
Brie Larson.
Young Creepiers.
That's freaking hilarious. I think I broke something, and he pulls a carrot out of his behind. Or his
So
back.
this scene coming up now, this is actually the first scene that they shot for the entire trilogy.
Huh.
No kidding.
Yeah, this is day one of principal photography, and this pathway that the Black Rider appears on with the whole "get off the road"
this was good.
scene. By the way, I love the way that in this shot the rider doesn't appear to the right of the tree.
That is cool. I always noticed
Yeah,
that.
I always thought when I first saw that, I thought it was a
Oh,
mistake,
yeah.
and I was like, and then I realized, oh no, it's deliberate to almost show that it's ethereally appeared.
Right. There's a lot of really subtle things like the horse's eyes and the what looks like blood, the bugs to kind of make it seem. But these things are very much not all human. Like there's this aura about them that is indescribable.
And this is where he first kind of feels the power of the ring because they're calling to it, kind of.
Yeah.
And
But that tracks a public park that's right in the middle of like New Zealand. You know, the main city in Auckland. It's a really unusual. You'd never thought that they would have filmed it in such a public place.
right.
But that's where that took place.
Yeah, so he obviously does not put the ring on. It goes away, and now it starts chasing them. And this part was great because the atmosphere of the woods,
and a couple more of them appear, don't they? I think.
Yeah. There's more of them. Look at the lighting here. It's just so
brilliant,
so well done. It's intimidating. You see these things with no faces coming at you. It's like, oh god. But yeah, they chase them, and then they get away on a what is it like a log raft almost a ferry. Run, Frodo! Yeah, he jumps. It's a nice little leap he makes there, huh?
Yeah, that makes the trailer, if I remember correctly.
It does. Yeah.
Very exciting. You know,
that's a stunt man doing that leap.
Yeah, I want to say this too. Like, not only the casting for this movie is perfect. I think what probably the biggest question mark everyone had was Elijah Wood, and a lot of people don't remember because if you're not like a certain vintage like I am, Elijah Wood was kind of a Hollywood pretty boy at the time. Like he was one of them dudes who was on the cover of like a teenage girl's Teen Beat magazine. He was a heartthrob. That's the word I'm looking for. And a lot of people thought when they announced he was going to be playing Frodo that he didn't have the acting chops to pull this off because that's what he was. He was just a teen heartthrob actor. And I mean, man, he really pulled out all the stops for this.
Yeah, he did good.
He really showed he belonged here.
Unfortunately, after this, he got. I don't know what he's done. Actually, honestly, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that he's done after this movie. The game, the same.
I remember he was in Sin City, and I have not.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but fortunately, though, any time anybody sees him, it's just Frodo. Like it's just the way. But it's not a bad thing. To me, it's not a bad thing. To be remembered.
I think he's doing all right for pennies.
He's doing great. Oh yeah. I was going to say, there's as many times as they re-show this on TV and cable, and he's doing.
Well. Does he even really need to work again?
Probably
live on those residuals, buddy.
So this is where they go to the what's the name of the town again? You guys know
Bree, like Bree, the cheese.
And they have to meet at the Prancing Pony.
Peter Jackson's first cameo in the trilogy.
Yeah, he's in this.
He's eating a big ass carrot.
There he is.
I'm drunk as shit, and I'm eating a carrot. Fuck off.
Carrots.
I like the accent there, John.
Thank you, buddy.
You're so stupid. I love it. Yeah,
it's redneck English.
Wait, I don't think he made. That was the only cameo he made in the whole trilogy, though, right? Was just this one movie.
I think like Frodo's just been flashed by somebody or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, the director
just saw his carrot. He's like,
I showed me his large carrots.
We don't have carrots like that.
That's not where that ring goes.
I like, when a little bit of a little understated the performance. The guy guarding the gate, you kind of get the sense at first like he's gonna antagonize people, but he's really just an ugly old dude. He's like, my job to ask questions after dark.
Like, he apologizes.
To There's so many great
job.
Yeah, so many great line deliveries in this movie from people who are not even the main actors. They're hilarious.
Right.
Yeah.
Got some lovely hobbit-sized rooms available.
yeah. Mr. Underhill. Well, hello there, sir. Gandalf. Yeah, so they're waiting for
I'll train
Gandalf.
him
Gandalf's
for
supposed to
6
be-
months.
Yeah, I'm all seeing him. So Gandalf's missing, and they're a little worried, like, oh shit.
That's one of the few times in the movie where you get a sense of the time jumps between events. 'Cause
Yeah,
you don't get
of the
that
few
13
times.
years has passed like in the books with the other book.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it's only been 6 months.
Here it's like, 6 months, that's a long time for us. I
Oh,
love
this is
that.
great.
Yeah.
Comes
Yeah.
in pints. I'm
This
getting
is-
one.
This is a point.
And then they all get pissed pretty quickly.
Yeah, they got big mouths. He's got
They
a
did a
big
really
mouth.
good job of making everybody in this, casual tavern look like they could secretly be just, like this rotten scumbag.
Yeah.
Even the even this guy, the kindly innkeeper, looks like he could be a little shifty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%. That's the whole point, though. Anybody goes to the Prancing Pony, yeah.
Everybody else
watch
is
out.
dirty except the hobbits. Look at how clean Frodo looks compared to everyone else.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is where
It's
we
gotta
meet.
definitely be like a little bit of a culture, everything kind of shock for the hobbits and they let you know by the perspective of the camera because everybody else is towering over them. The music stops and all you hear is like a bass in the background, and you're really meant to feel like that moment where he's like, "Oh shit, we're lost." That moment, that feeling in your gut when you're like, "I don't know where the hell I am."
right.
He's not here, so
This is where we get to see Viggo Mortensen's character.
For the first time.
yeah, and
very-
it's amazing.
He's
Very
called Strider
important.
and then never
Strider.
referred as that ever again.
Right.
Right.
No,
He's
I think Sean Austin calls him it a couple of times.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's one of them rangers.
Two
Calls him
things
out.
about this little scene right here. I always get sleepy and want to take a nap whenever Frodo's eyes start going like that. I can never.
Power
I
of
also.
suggestion.
I can also never not see how short his fingernails are. Like, damn, dude, stop biting them things.
Yeah.
If you see him fiddling with the ring, like his fingernails are really short.
They're
Yeah.
short.
Very ingrown now.
Aragon. Yeah.
Oh, it's a long flight to New Zealand from Los Angeles.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a lot of bite. That's a lot of biting time.
Yes, it is. It's you got to make your way. Hey, what's up, Joshua Perry? Thanks for joining the show. Is this? I don't know. If that's a woman. That's a lovely, very handsome woman bringing beer to the. I think that's a woman. I don't know. Bagface, what's up, my man? Thanks for joining, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's Frodo over there. This guy's got the biggest mouth, dude. God, the whole movie.
Mm.
Yeah, and he's like, he goes to shut him up, falls. This is a great scene. Because
Really well done.
well shot, well
Mhm.
done. The music was fantastic. Everything
Yeah.
was just really well. And then he just disappears. And of course, they can sense the ring where it is at the time somebody puts it on. So the writers are like, okay. And you get this haunting screech that they make.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's just so. And then you see this like weird, like reality with the ring on that Frodo sees, and then the actual. Oh, hello there, Vex Electronica.
Hi, sorry, I'm super late.
Oh, dude, don't even
Ah.
feel bad. Don't even worry
Andrew
about
will be
it.
here any
And
minute. There he is.
Andrew.
Fine.
We're like an hour into the movie. I'm just kidding. You guys are. Don't worry. about it.
Sorry.
You guys are. No.
we
You
get
guys-
we get 3 more people. We've got a fellowship.
Well, Vex and
Let's
Andrew
just
came in.
restart the movie.
Vex
I
and
call
Andrew
the roll
came
of
in at the
Gimli.
Perfect time. We only have another hour of streaming, but I'm already hour scrubbed through of half the movie already. So we're good. Actually, I'm glad that you showed up. So,
So I
I've
can
got
come
plenty
back
to
in
say
20
about this
minutes
movie.
then? I'm going to just go hop in the shower real quick and come back.
you know what? You do what you got to do, lady. You've done enough for me on this channel. You
You
get
probably
carte
string
blanche.
smell by now.
So basically we went through the first hour of the movie already, but just the whole
Is this when he gets stabbed?
No. That's
Not yet.
that's
Not
the-
yet.
Oh, okay.
This is
okay.
where-
He's
this is
in the
where
bar.
he-
He's in the bar.
he falls in the bar. So Andrew,
Okay.
since you came in late, I know this is one of your favorite movies, right?
This is my favorite movie.
The favorite movie. So we were talking in the beginning about just how well the setup is with the introduction, the extended version of the beginning talking about the hobbits and giving you more backstory. So I'm going to assume you like this much more than the original cut, the theater cut.
Yeah. So it's interesting how I've watched these movies because I originally watched them on TV reruns. So not only were
wow.
not only were they the theatrical cut, they were also cut even more. So there
Wow.
was just missing context in the TV cut of the movie.
God,
And then I
what a way to
finally,
see it.
yeah, and then I finally watched the theatrical. Like I bought it, was like $5 on Amazon. I bought it, and then like I think 2 years ago, I finally got the extended editions.
Wow.
So yeah, my understanding of these films has like evolved.
Wait a minute,
So
wait,
it's-
because wait. How you're only what 21? So when this movie came out, it was 2001. So
I wasn't even born.
You weren't born yet.
Damn,
Wow.
I
God,
straight
I
up,
wasn't my 20. I was your age when this movie came
I straight up did not exist.
I
was,
think I was
uh,
21
in the eye
when
of
this
Sauron.
came out. Oh God.
But yeah,
Jesus, I'm
the setup
old.
in this movie is really good.
Right, yeah.
Because it starts big, massive, epic battle scene. You got
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
Sauron going baboosh baboosh with his
Yes,
little
we talked
with
about
his
how that was
hammer.
great. Yeah.
And then that ends, and then you have, and then we slow it down, and we focus on the smaller being the hobbits, and we get an explanation of them. And I think that's really important for the rest of the trilogy, because we stay with the smaller
Oh yeah.
being throughout all of the 3 movies.
Well, I was going to say, I even mentioned that in the beginning when they're at the party, Bilbo's giving it's a quick scene, but he's giving backstory as to how Frodo came into his care.
Yeah.
Like it's little things like that the original movie did not. And again, for me, somebody who didn't read the books and get too much into the back lore, I appreciated it with the extended cuts because I was like, oh, this makes so much more sense. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Even the smallest person can change the course of history.
But it's great. It's just a great beginning of the movie, and then everything leading up is fantastic. We were talking about how the writers first come into the story and how intimidating they are, and how just the cinematography and the landscape. New Zealand it's its own character. It's beautiful.
Yes.
And it's breathtaking. But yeah, so this is the part where we get to the bar and then we were talking about before the time jumps and how you really don't know how long it is unless you're paying attention to what they're saying. But this is like 6 months go by, so many years, like with Gandalf gone and all this, and it's like you got to kind of just.
And really, it's not important exactly how long it was gone. That was not the point of it. You get the sense it was, some time at the very least.
Yeah, it was great.
That wasn't the whole point of the skip. The time skip was just
right
away. No, hey, look, he's back again.
What's up, Melvin? Yeah, so yeah, this is great. So this is where the ring falls on into his finger, and this is a great scene because he sees the eye, right? Because they sense where he is, and this creepy freaking voice, man. Like you see this eye coming at you, and you hear the voice go, "I see," and it's like Jesus.
Yeah, it's just like this thunder bass, and then you just hear, "I see
you," and it's so intimidating, but it's done so well. And we were saying, Andrew, like. Even in the small scenes they were using for 2001, the CGI for its time is still better than most movies now.
Yeah, they just knew how to apply it better.
Yeah,
they knew
it's where they
knew
used
what to
it.
make.
Yeah,
they knew
it's
what
amazing
to make
that
they had to.
Marvel and Disney, with all the money in the world and all the, of course, a lot of the special effects houses are like stretched when it comes to their the application of their special effects and CGI.
Oh, yeah.
Much of that's why so much of it's been garbage. These guys really took the ethos of, taking a little and making a lot with it.
Yeah. Even towards the middle of the movie when he's fighting the demon, the freaking big whatever the hell that thing was called.
Yeah,
like,
the Balrog.
God, for 2001, man, like you have to kind of think like, wow, this
nothing looked like this in 2001.
Yeah,
there was
Balrog,
nothing came close.
The Balrog was great. Sorry,
the Balrog is the coolest monster ever.
Easy.
Oh yeah, but like the way that, and there was a couple of scenes. We'll get to that event probably is where. They're on the steps and the steps are collapsing a little bit. You're like, okay, that shows.
Yeah, there's some like green screen compositing
a little bit,
but like that's just
overall,
like for the time. But
yeah. So you got to just kind of let that go. But yeah, here's where you see the Aragorn for the first. Well, yeah, he's like, I like this. He's like, you draw too much attention to yourself, Mr. Underhill, and he's great. And right away, you see this guy, and you're like, this guy's a leader. Like this is the guy you want helping you and guiding you through.
He's already sweating, so
his hair is always fucking.
Yeah, he's got the real credentials. He's sweating. He's a bit sexy.
Yeah, women loved him.
Leading man.
Yeah, women loved him in this movie.
And then the real main character Sam busts in with nothing. He's got fists up, and his delivery is like, "Oh, I got two long shanks." It's like,
he
was ready to go.
I'll have you.
I like this. I like
Look at what
this
his old sleeping cap on.
Yeah, his little innkeeper here is just like, oh shit, what these things are here. This was a great. Now, of course, obviously, we knew that the hobbits were not going to die so early in the movie, but they do a good job of. For a second, though, you do think, oh shit, like because the cut scenes, because you don't know they're sleeping in a separate room, right? So yeah, the writers come in with their swords stabbing the beds, and they realize, oh shit, they're not in here, and then they, of course, screeching, and the Frodo's just like, yeah, so what are we gonna do? And and he gives back, this is where Aragorn gives the backstories to what they are. There used to be kings that had the rings, and obviously it just kind of fucked their souls up because they couldn't let go of the power and blah blah blah. And then they leave. But this is what I was saying, Andrew. Like this movie before the stream is like this movie. A lot of people I know didn't like it as much because it didn't have a lot of action in it, but it has so much story. But that's I think is fine. Like I understand,
I think there's plenty of action in the first film.
It happens more towards the end.
It's the slow burn of the introduction because it is a lot of world building. Like especially with the first 15 minutes, but the first 15 minutes doesn't even feel that long. Like the introduction with just Cate Blanchett speaking is 9 minutes, and it feels like 3.
Yeah,
it's so well, incredibly paced in terms of like how fast she's
that
talking.
Last shot, I never noticed that Bree was in the background of that last shot until you froze it there in the mist.
Right
I never up on that before.
Yeah, you pick up a lot of these details. Watching this in like a Dolby Vision on a bigger screen.
75 inch.
No, I want the 75 inch.
You want a bigger TV.
I don't know if I can afford the 75 inch TV, but I want one. But like just in general, the detail, because I haven't seen this in a long time. But I have the Blu-rays of it. But yeah, putting it back in, man, you're right. These little things that you notice, like the city in the background, because I didn't notice that either until I rewatched it. Yeah. And then I like how he's just guiding them through, and they're like, "Oh, we don't know if who is this guy, and is he really gonna help us?" Little do they know,
he is the guy.
He is the guy, like the main man. But yeah, look at these shots, man. God damn.
There's some extra shots here, including the one where isn't it when they're moving between the rocks and they're all getting nibbled?
Yeah.
That particular landscape looked really good, and it's not in the original cut.
I also believe. During the soundtrack, we're getting hints of the Fellowship theme, but it's obviously not complete because the Fellowship hasn't been born yet. But it is still building because these characters are interacting, so the Fellowship is already being made.
I like this. This is the part we were laughing at, where he's
when the party says they want to take a short rest, and the DM is like, "No, I don't think so."
Let's have second. What about second breakfast?
What about second breakfast?
Oh, look at this. This is actually a pretty good shot of
it's a great shot.
Like it makes them they look small. Like
it looks like a band album. It looks like an album cover.
Led Zeppelin 5.
Those finished
second
right there.
The Hobbits are here. Yeah. But I like what about 11sies? Yeah, 12sies. It just shows you how their lives are.
Yep. And then you have this shot of Aragorn looking up at him. It's really good.
Yeah.
Showing
this is where the apple comes.
Yeah, the apple comes and hits him in the head. And he's like, "What the fuck?"
And he looks the opposite way it came from.
It's like, what the fuck? It was. I like how
they really subtly lay on a lot of the trust that Pippin is a bit of a dunce.
Yeah,
he's not stupid, but he's a bit careless.
He likes to get high and eat.
Yeah, the way that he looks at Billy Boyd is just like come on, dude, Pippin. Like, yeah, you're making us look bad. You're setting Hobbits back 20 years.
Yeah.
This is the bit I was talking about. That
this is extra. Yeah, this was a lot of this was extra here. How he's laying around and he's singing, and then Frodo recognizes the song.
That wasn't even part of the movie. Viggo Mortensen, he liked to fish in between shots when they were on the river. He had just gone into the woods and killed a deer, and they just that was their lunch for the day when they were filming, so they left it in the movie.
Uninspired. Nobody knew that's put. I thought it was always "Run, you fools" for the longest time until I saw the subtitles, because he's a little hard to understand during the movie.
Yes, to answer Melvin deeply, he 100% learned Elvish for this.
Yeah.
I think most of them did.
Yeah.
I think who plays Legolas? I can't remember his name.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, Orlando Bloom. Actually, during one of the Pirates movies, the one where he's under the canoe, he was so like they were so delirious under it because it's so like claustrophobic. He just started speaking Elvish because he thought he was filming Lord of the Rings.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Can your mustache speak Elvish, Andrew?
No, it cannot.
Orlando Bloom, a bit of a pretty boy, but probably the casting that works the least amount.
Feel
He's
like a
functional,
good
but
fit.
I feel like another actor could have really.
Oh, Orlando Bloom, you mean?
Yeah, I feel like another
yeah.
actor probably could have taken the role and done a little better with
Well,
it.
I'm pretty sure when we do part 2 and the trivia pops up at that stream, then we'll definitely have some casting news. Because yeah, if I remember correctly, yeah, he wasn't the first choice, obviously. But I don't know who else could have played him, though. I just off top of my head, I can't think of anyone that could have played that role.
I can say that
Chris
he definitely
Pratt.
gave it some
Chris
majestic-
Pratt?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Chris Pratt plays everything.
Yep.
No, yeah, maybe. You never know. Yeah, this is where Saruman's looking at what the fuck is this thing called again?
Palantir.
Palantir.
Yeah. And he's telling Saruman, yeah, you use my area here. We'll let's get going here. Let's build an army. And this is pretty. I love this scene because they do a great job with just showing how massive this army is, what they have, how far they'll go to build an army, and where they have to search for these soldiers. And then of course they're tearing apart the whole forest.
And during this, you can hear like the trees talking or like talking, foreshadowing for the second movie. Like the power that the trees have while falling. You hear these like wooden hums. It's very good.
Isn't this where the drop shot comes off the side of the castle and you've got that powerful music and then it goes down into the mines and
that's
an amazing.
That shot is revolutionary.
Yeah,
because it's like a miniature with like composited people in it, and then you have elements of CGI like the bats.
Yeah.
And
fantastic.
this is a composited shot, and it looks amazing.
Is it really?
Yes.
Now I'm gonna have to watch.
Yeah,
it
they
when
added
I
that
get
to
done
the
with this,
terrain
'cause-
feature.
So that is a miniature on top of that mountain.
Wow.
I don't even know if that mountain exists. You could tell me this is a painting.
Good grief!
Yeah, it
No,
looks fantastic.
the outcrop exists.
And the idea that they think, well,
They put it on
CGI is
top.
cheaper, but God, it looks so much
It looks
shittier when you look at this stuff, and you'd think they'd learn, but
No, see, I didn't know
whatever.
that.
Hollywood, lose that money. I don't care.
Yeah, they did a lot of miniature work in this
This
film.
looks
a lot.
fantastic. God. Yeah, this is where they're going to basically. He goes off. He goes, I'm going to go away for a while. You guys sit here, relax, and then
I'm going to go and hunt a deer.
yeah, we're going to go. Look at this. Look at the.
I'm gonna go do.
This is
cool
Viggo
things.
Mortensen wandering off.
I'm going to do manly
one.
things.
He's like,
And I
okay,
love how-
alone.
No,
Go ahead, buddy.
there's a
No.
I nobody ever knows this little quote but me. If you go back and watch the sorry, my brain's falling apart now. The closed captioning right before he wakes up. There's this line they deliver if you can barely hear what it says, "My tomatoes burst," and I can never unhear it.
My
when I
tomatoes
watch
burst.
this. Yeah, because they're cooking tomatoes on the skillet with tomatoes, sausages, nice crispy bacon. I guess this is third
I'm
supper.
inspired. Thanks
Don't
for
you
joining,
mention
don't you
which
find when you're
meal this
watching
is.
this scene that you want bacon?
Yeah, like, these are the things that make you
I
dang
find
hungry.
I
while
want
watching
crispy
these.
bacon after I've been watching that scene.
Well, you know what though, but I
Yeah.
like how they're like Frodo gets pissed, and you're at first you're like, what the, and then you're thinking, oh yeah, no shit, these people are being hunted. You got a fire burning in an open area.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
And he's
and I
going,
like it.
You got ash on my tomato.
My tomato.
Oh,
He's
that's
more worried
nice.
about the
Ash
tomato.
on my tomatoes.
Then they hear the screech, and this part's fucking great because it's terrifying. Thanks, it's inspired. I'll see you around, buddy. Yeah, it's crazy because they're waiting for these things to come up this massive mountain, and you just start kind of see them come out of the shadows. Oh god, it was so good, so
yes,
good.
a couple of them come through the
Look at that. That's a
The-
great
the,
shot.
Intimidating as
This
fuck,
goes
right?
hard.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very well done.
The costume design of these guys, the swords are unique. The Morgoth blade, and like again the cinematography, the
It's
set
great.
design, perfect. Also the score. Like, did you know
Oh,
that
it's
the song?
fantastic.
Did you know that the song has lyrics?
This song has lyrics in this scene.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I know they're chanting something. I don't know what they're saying though.
Oh,
we're
it's-
about to get stabbed.
I believe it.
Well,
So-
Andrew's gonna sing for us right now.
I
Go
had
ahead,
no. I'm
buddy.
not gonna sing it. So the lyrics, if you
tell-
translate them into English,
Yeah.
are: "We renounce our Maker, we cleave to the darkness, we take unto ourselves the power and glory. Behold, we are the Nine, the lords of unending life."
Please tell me
Damn.
someone puts that to some black metal riffs and have Christopher Lee sing it. Like,
Dude.
that would be awesome.
That is
There's-
metal.
There's
Yeah.
got to be a version of that. So yeah, like what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Most of the songs, if you hear a choir in it, it's probably translated Elvish into the phonetic language
To the
for choir.
Wow.
Andrew, you've definitely earned wearing that jumper this evening.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Now, I will say I admire any fantasy author that's willing to go far enough to invent their own languages and
Yeah,
written
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
or,
that's
and
dedication, yeah.
spoken. Even though my debut book is all about orcs, I did not go out of my way to invent the orc language.
an
I came
orc
up with a couple
language.
orc words, but like, I'm
Yeah.
not that big
And
of a language expert, and I'm not doing
And
it.
Howard Shaw,
I was about to
Sure,
say
sure.
that he's the leader of the Nine, isn't he? Did you know that?
Who?
Howard Shaw, the composer. When you see
yeah.
the
I
Nine
agree,
in
love it. I
human
agree.
form, Howard Shaw's cameo in the film is he's the leader of the Nine. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys knew
Man,
that.
he
wow, I
looks
didn't know that.
awful.
That's
I
crazy.
would-
He's an old guy.
he does need some
Um,
sleep after making the score.
Yeah.
But yeah, Howard Shaw put so much effort into this. He put as much effort into this score as Peter Jackson did with the entire film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
can tell.
there's like something over 100 themes in the song or in all the movies overall.
Is that
and
true, Gord? Wow.
It's funny as well. You would have thought Shaw would have done more big movies since then, but he hasn't done that many. I don't
Really?
think.
What
Not
else did he-
loads.
Yeah, he
What
does
else?
a lot of French stuff. I've seen him on a lot of
So, like,
French
international
movies.
stuff? Gotcha.
But like he even if you see
No kidding, Herman.
interviews with him like today, he still loves this trilogy and he loves the
Dude,
Yeah,
the score,
work
the
he did on
score
this.
is it's timeless. My
Yeah.
wife's in the kitchen while I'm playing the movie, and my wife's in the kitchen playing watching, and she goes, "Oh, I forgot how good the score is in this movie." You know, I was like, "It's epic."
Imagine how intimidating it would be to be like
Wow,
the person
Gord.
doing the score for.
Can you
for all
highlight?
this.
Can you highlight
Oh,
Gord
yeah.
King's comment there? Gord, what the?
You can
Gord,
get
why?
canceled for any of it?
Why? No, Vex, since Vex like basically does everything behind the scenes, she has carte blanche Sharpie to literally go take a shower during the stream. So it's okay. That's
She
why we have
had been live too long, so she got the stank.
Andrew and his mustache are two guests basically, and we
Yeah.
love him for it.
yeah.
It's a twofer.
We love him. Thanks.
But
Andrew.
yeah, imagine how intimidating it would be to be the person
Oh,
who has
yeah, yeah.
to take like Britain's. I don't know. I feel like one of Britain's biggest stories. You know.
Yeah, Britain's
no, it's-
mythology practically.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
You're
turn it into a
welcome.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah,
I can
thanks,
thank you for.
thanks, Lance.
I go back to your beans and toast. Damn it.
Yeah, we'll thank.
That's
you, man.
that's
We'll
Howard
start-
Shaw right there.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
he
looks
needs some
terrible.
cream.
He's he needs some
But go
sleep.
him,
Man. He needs to
yeah.
rest. He needs to rest a little bit. Yeah, this is great. So he puts the ring on, thinking he's going to escape them, and he's like, then you realize, oh shit, yeah, these people are hunters of the ring. They are not going to.
Yeah, they can still see you.
They can
Yeah,
still
they're
see-
they're
and I
drawn to it.
love this
They can
scene.
still
Where
see you,
I,
boy.
I appreciate that they don't really talk all that much either. Like,
yeah,
Right,
good.
no, they
That's
don't.
true.
They speak like Sauron, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
they're
A deep
basically
whisper.
sentinels. You know.
Don't
They-
touch
they
me
have-
there.
Okay.
Stop touching
Don't want
me
to
there.
invite them round for a cocktail party. Not good
But
guests.
And I love how they're trying to pull the ring. They're like willing the ring to that, and he pulls it away strong enough to pull it away, and then they stab him. And
Yeah, they're like, fine, die.
you die. And he's like, oh shit, they stabbed me. Yeah, very intimidating stuff. And then of course this is where Aragon comes in and kicks ass. This is where you realize this guy is a badass.
And this was his first scene ever as Aragorn.
Yeah,
And
that
Oh,
he-
this
he,
scene.
like,
Oh, okay,
he
wow.
had a crash course on
sword fighting.
swords, and he just like showed up and just started swinging it around. And it's
He did a great job.
If I remember
Crazy as
correctly, The guy who trained everyone in sword fighting claimed that Viggo Mortensen took to sword fighting more naturally than anyone he had ever encountered before. And like he was wearing the Aragorn outfit around the little town and where that was near where they filmed in New Zealand. He had the sword with him.
No
And
kidding.
like he really, you can tell that a couple times, like especially in Helm's Deep when he swings that sword in front of the kid. And it's like, oh, whoa, you know, and you get this. He really does kind of come across that he knows what he's doing with it. Like everybody put 1,000% effort into this movie, and it shows.
And it shows.
And it's why modern Hollywood
That's
just
a
does
badass
not
scene.
come
Look
anywhere near
thorough.
this.
That's a
anymore.
great shot.
This
That's a
shot,
great
that's
shot.
When
dude.
everyone
that's it.
appears and saves the
That
day.
is a
This was the
great
scene-
shot.
That's a book cover right there.
Dude, that's
This
so
was the
good.
scene that totally sold it for me. Like, you know, when I was
Burning
watching
people
this as a
alive.
young guy, I was watching this. I was like, this is exactly everything of a fantasy adventure I'd want.
It's
you
great.
know, because
Yeah.
God,
It's fun.
And this is another thing the movie kind of improved on Tolkien a little bit, because if you've read the books, you understand Tolkien not big on the adventure, the action scenes.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, like
yeah,
the Battle
no
of
kidding.
Pelennor Fields is a paragraph. I'm pretty sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
That's
Viggo
amazing.
got
And,
to
and
keep
when
that
they meet the
sword,
Balrog
by
in
the
the
way.
book, he does it off page. He goes out there and then he comes back to talk about the fact that he's like, well, I almost got my ass kicked out there. We better run instead.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you
like-
don't see or hear
It is
anything
kind of
like it.
difficulty. There is a difficulty in writing an action scene in books. It's like, and then he
You have to be
swung
truly
his sword.
descriptive.
Admittedly, that was also not, very prominent in books at the time, except for,
Yeah.
some pulps.
Oh, that's a time. Yeah.
And
that
a
makes
lot of
sense.
the books,
Yeah.
a lot of the books are the Fellowship camping and just chilling.
Yeah.
But like there are differences in like how to adapt things, and it's like this is probably as faithful as an adaptation
Could
is
be.
going to get.
I
in
like
terms of the
his
source
look
material.
here. He's like, yeah, I'm a badass.
Oh, you think
He's
you're
like-
leaving? No.
Yeah.
you know, it probably would have helped if he had told him, oh yeah, just like a year earlier, me and Gandalf spent like months searching for
this thing, yeah.
Gollum. Well,
Yeah.
for Gollum, they were
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
looked at him
It would
down.
have been nice to hint that.
Yeah.
But
Oh
yeah.
yeah, this is
This is the scene,
cut
yeah.
for that big long.
Yeah. Look at that. Ah, it's so
shot.
good.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack is.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
I have my sound bar on with the plays Atmos, and I turned it up to 90, and it goes up to 100. And my kid runs down the stairs during the scene. She's like, "What is going on?" I'm like,
we're
"Just-
being invaded, babe.
just go with
He's
it.
watching his face.
He's a guard.
Just go with it. It was so good. My neighbors must hate me. Yeah. This is where Gandalf catches. Is this like a moth? Yeah, a moth.
It's a
He
moth.
gives- He gives
It's a
instructions to go get the eagles and
Yeah.
get him, which was great.
Bring back some
Hotel
shawarma,
California,
I'm
save me
starving.
now.
But yeah, this is great, and they show the orcs.
Orc
and then-
stuff. I'm here for it.
So he's like, is this? So he's basically breeding his own.
So
You go ahead,
Yeah.
Andrew.
he's
Explain.
breeding Urukai.
Yeah, that's it.
Which are just the epic boys, and also the weapons that are being forged there are being forged by the foragers that worked on the movie. So they put the
Oh, no kidding.
people who worked on the
Oh, that's
swordsmiths
awesome.
and blacksmiths that
I love the little
made
touches
them
like
working,
that.
and they put them in
Um,
costume and had them because I mean they know what they're doing. So
Calls for
and it's I'm pretty sure they made like something like 10,000 swords, like something
yeah.
ridiculous, like 10,000 swords, 40,000 pieces of armor,
So they put the work in.
Um,
Yeah.
and like 800 arrows. Yeah,
Look at this
it's-
thing. Look
They
at this
had
thing.
people for like years winding chainmail together.
Yeah,
This
I
is
wanna
what this
make
is
a-
what.
yeah, 3 years.
I want to make a meme of this guy. And
Look at this.
What's that meme from Star Wars? You're on this council, but we don't consider you master of him in front of other orcs that have tusks.
this thing is intimidating looking. God damn, it's great. And then
And
he's
he-
like, oh,
his character's not in the book, but they wanted the orcs to have some sort of leader.
Yeah.
so these
Yeah,
are the
that's a
troll.
good
These are the
idea.
troll. One thing I didn't catch the first time I watched this. Now rewatching when I did watch The Hobbit, unfortunately,
Yikes.
with the trolls. This is that. Okay, so I was like, oh, that's the scene with the trolls. Oh, duh,
Yeah.
'cause I never caught it. I don't know why. Maybe because I just didn't care at the time because I didn't know. But
It's only in the
Yeah.
extended edition as well, the troll scene.
so yeah, since Frodo was stabbed with this special blade, they're looking for like what, a weed or something that'll slow down the poison from the. Isn't that what they're looking for? Like a flower or a weed or something?
Yeah.
Kingsfoil.
Yeah.
And this is
He's
a great
injured. He's a
introduction.
hobbit. He needs weed somehow.
No,
He's
it's
gotta
like,
smoke
dude, let me get you some essential oils, man. Hey, you
This
know
is
what we freaking forgot was the dolly, the little dolly zoom back there near the beginning when they first get to the woods.
Yeah.
yeah,
was
that was
so
cool.
epic looking, y'all. I mean, I can't
yes.
explain enough how much I love that effect when
And
used properly.
this is a great introduction into oh my god, what is her name? Jesus.
Liv
I don't
Tyler.
know, this
Liv
chick.
Tyler.
Liv Tyler.
A
What's her name?
ranger
Arguably, yeah,
caught off his
arguably.
guard.
This is
What's
when
the
she
ca-
was
what's
like
the
at her
character's
most
name in the movie?
gorgeous.
She was
Arwen?
great.
I
Arwen, yeah,
don't-
she,
Arwen,
was
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. She was casted well.
She's
Yeah,
only
didn't
cool
have
in
a
this
big-
movie.
You couldn't
and
put
then
her
she
in this
fits.
part now.
Yeah. No. But she was casted well.
Yeah.
I am Arwen. I've come to help you. Very elves, very angelic.
And
then
of course,
Frodo-
her part in the movie was added up. You know, like they added on with
Oh,
that,
yeah,
so that
of
way there would be
course.
some type of more romance than what there was in the books.
Oh,
Yeah,
of
this
course.
doesn't happen. This
I
sequence
liked it.
doesn't happen in the book, right?
Right.
It wasn't
Yeah.
like
It was with
overly
another elf.
sappy.
It was with a totally different elf.
Yeah,
You know,
Jaden, you're
Yeah.
right. The soundtrack they play when she shows up is fantastic. It just fits. Everything just fits so well. And then so she's basically like, I'm a faster rider than you. I can take him to my people. I get across the river, we're safe. But and I like how she's like, I'm a faster rider than you.
Yeah,
He's
'cause
like,
her
"Yeah."
horse has more horsepower.
yeah.
It
He's
has
scared
two
because-
horsepower rather
And you
than
know
one.
they have a history together, right? Obviously. But
Yeah, I mean, he gave her that look like I've seen your butthole before. So
That line that's
Special bond
said
between the
by
couples.
Samwise, those wraiths are still out there. That's
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
line in the film where Sean Austin drops his American accent.
Oh, no
Oh,
kidding.
really?
Oh,
If you listen to the
I didn't even
line,
notice
you can
that.
hear his
Wow.
American accent on
Oh,
that
yeah.
line.
That's it.
It's the
That's it.
only
Mo-
line in the
the
whole
movie's ruined.
trilogy.
The movie's ruined for me now. That's it.
admittedly,
This is
his
good.
accent
0
wasn't
out of 10.
that thick.
hey, y'all, look
Zero
out!
out
They're
of 10.
coming for you.
Hey, they got them wraiths out there
Because he shouts it. He shouts
on
the
them
line.
Well, look at these
horses.
shots. God, look at this shot.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
This is
crazy.
Unbelievable.
the whole sequence is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Frodo's-
they did well in making it.
They
feel
get close.
intense.
I like how they get close, and then she says something to the horse, and the horse is like, "All right, good, we're good."
Well, yeah, she actually gets cut
Yeah.
by one of the tree
Tree branches. Yeah,
I like
She's
it how
not-
they, she came
Yeah.
into a slight bit of injury, so
If
they
you
didn't
want
just make her
him,
perfect.
come
you
in
know?
This was-
blame him.
coming is a great line, and then I like how they're
Yeah.
across the river.
Impact zoom.
She uses her magic to make the river.
Like,
and I like how the
this is
horse-
going to be in a video game
Yeah.
one day.
This is a
I'm gonna
great shot.
cast
And it
this-
was in the video game I mentioned earlier, Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. You have an elf character, and of course she has water magic, and this is one of her summons once you level up enough.
Mhm.
It has to be there. So
Not
That
Arwen, that's what I was
shot when
about to
she
call her.
draws the sword, and they all draw
Yeah.
their swords, and the horse
Yeah.
rears up. That's one of the best shots in the
It's
first
great.
movie.
absolutely.
And I love this where the horses are in the like the faces of the horses going
Yeah.
through the river, and
Yeah.
it's a great scene. It's a great
Yeah.
scene. And then Frodo's basically slipping away because he, if I'm not mistaken, right, he will become one of those.
Yeah.
They give him
hi,
they
Vex.
give him the HIV basically, and he will.
You're all
turn.
clean now.
Yes.
Thank
One
do
of
some
Liv
other things,
Tyler's
sorry.
very useful
Wow.
acting ability. She can cry on cue. She did it in Armageddon too.
Yes, she was casted
I
perfect
think everybody that was in Armageddon could cry on cue, though.
because of that movie. So-
Now this
Yeah.
is okay to me. This is one of the cheapest looking
Yes,
scenes.
I
in the
did not
entire
like
movie.
it.
Yeah, a little bit.
I did not like.
Like,
it.
what's
Go ahead.
going on? Are they teleporting?
Well,
That's what I
it's like
thought, right?
the
I don't know
scene
what they're doing.
transition here. Just
It's
looks,
just
it looks like
it
something's
looks
Windows
very
movie
sci-fi
making moment.
channel. Yeah, very.
Like
cheap.
we're running
Like,
low on budget. Let's do something, y'all.
I know what they're trying to do.
No,
They're
they
trying to
just
pass it off
used
as,
the
like,
pen
some-
tool in Adobe, and then
Yeah.
then they just added noise.
They're trying to be like all mythical and stuff. It just didn't fit.
It
the whole
doesn't.
movie.
It looks totally different than any other part of the film.
It took me out of the movie
when
for a
Elrond leans
second.
forward and whispers to him, and in Elvish
Yeah.
and all that.
I'm here.
He like
You are safe. Like, what are you
Yeah,
whispering?
and at the time, remember the only thing that we knew him from mostly,
Django.
Hugo Weaving was Agent Smith, over here. in
Yeah,
America.
yeah.
Mr.
I agree.
Frodo, you
Yeah.
have
Okay.
a ring, don't you?
It's a Hallmark. It's the one scene that looks like a Hallmark movie. Yeah, nothing more frightening than an old man smoking a beard watching you while you sleep. It's not,
I've had
I love all the carvings on the
Whitey.
production
Oh,
design
yeah.
for this set.
Yeah,
attention
And
they
if
do
you,
it, yeah.
if you look at the bedding as well, it's got its own unique Lothlorien emblem on the bedding on
yes,
the bed.
yes.
So the detail with that kind of thing. Just
This is where
incredible.
Saruman's basically giving Gandalf one last chance.
Well,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah. He's
either join
recalling
me-
his story back to
yeah.
Frodo. Like, well, here's what
That's a good
happened.
shot. That's a good shot.
Mm.
Yeah, Gandalf's leaning over and he sees the moth come back and he sees the eagle in the background. Look at the shots. God, so good.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one Lord.
And then he jumps off the tower, obviously, and then boom, he lands on the
YOLO!
eagle. Yeah.
My taxi.
Batman comes and swoops down and saves him. You know?
So he's basically, yeah. Oh, there's Sam. Sam didn't leave your side for a minute.
They're so
Except for
gay.
the moment that he did.
Oh, if this was made now, they'd be so
Bro.
it would be broke back fucking Lord of the Rings.
I think
This
even like
is
some
scary.
of the
I can't
film,
stand them motherfuckers.
right?
Sorry,
Some
Max,
of
go
the
ahead.
producers or writers or someone like some people have come out to say that it's like their entire relationship through the film is an allegory for homosexuality and whatnot.
Of course.
Yeah,
they're just
like
bullshit.
15 years after the movie comes out, they come
Of
out
course
with
they're
that
gonna
kind of
do that.
shit for
Of
it.
course.
Yeah.
Like I understand. I don't know. People were trying to make this
Listen,
connection
you hug
for a
your
while,
home,
but
and you're just gay.
but
now.
like, what happened is just two best friends have like just, they're fucking. Come on,
they're
saving each other.
boys.
they're boys.
The boys.
Seeing this is where
Always
he
kiss the
Bilbo-
homies goodnight.
Kiss the
That's
homies.
True. It's not
Are
gay.
criminally
It's not-
online.
it's
not gay.
No, you're lowering
Welcome
the
in.
tone unintentionally.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But then, yeah, you can see Bilbo's aged finally. Obviously, this is a lot of time has passed, but without the ring, he's aged. Look at
That
Frodo's
is
face
a
here.
funny,
Look at that
funny
face.
face. To
Hello,
pause on.
Bilbo.
This is scary, man.
He plays a great Bruce.
It's like he's about to do a jig there.
Where's
I
my ring?
finally
You,
ran out of toast
Yeah.
to scrape.
where's my ring? You little
Yeah,
shit.
look at that look. Like, so you got that ring, right?
Yeah, you got beans and toast over here.
Okay, this moment that comes up in the film. Well, it's actually here after a little bit, but you know when
When he
Bilbo
turns into Gollum for a second.
Dude, that was
that
crazy.
got me.
Ah,
The first time I saw it, I was like, "Holy shit!" I mean, if that didn't scare you a little bit in the
It
theater,
still gets me.
dude,
It's
really?
still, yeah.
Who wants to visit this
That's
elf?
another one of those shots that's done at the same angle as the one I mentioned
Yes.
earlier.
Yeah. Talking
Yeah,
about the
it's
eyes.
the same angle, same face. Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to unsee that now.
Yeah, thank you. So they basically know they want to leave the ring in Rivendell. They think they can, right? Because it's safe there.
I don't know,
It's
you
your
get this
fucking
good
problem
job might
now.
be done.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
I like how him and Gandalf are going back and forth. We're like, listen, we can't keep this thing here. It's beyond our power. We're leaving anyway. The elves are leaving Middle Earth.
Yeah, they don't care.
We
They
don't give
do
a
not
shit
care.
anymore. And we don't like men because men have created all these problems. And we're like, we're done. And Gandalf's like, oh God, what do I do now? And then this is where the Fellowship people start coming.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
There he
Oh,
is.
yeah.
One just doesn't walk into Mordor. They got the dwarf coming in,
Wolves.
and then obviously Orlando Bloom, pretty boy, comes in.
Yeah.
What's up, Jafaro? 30. How you
What
Do you
Thing
doing?
is
guys
there
remember the fanfare over Orlando Bloom when this movie came out?
We were just talking
I-
about.
oh, dude,
John was
yeah.
talking about that earlier. yeah.
little
Take-
bit.
I enjoy Orlando Bloom in this
I mean,
role.
to me, he's not a. He's
Yeah,
not like
in
a
this
hero
role,
type.
that's-
In this
that's
role,
it
he's
for
he's
me,
an
but-
elf. Elves are kind of gay, so it's cool. Sorry.
I'm sorry,
not
what?
gay.
At least
Twinkish.
some of them in this movie.
And he
It's a
got
heavy
banged up.
statement
Like
right
all
there.
of them got badly injured in the filming of this, but Orlando Bloom
Yeah.
apparently was the one who soaked up most of the damage for the
Broke
party.
his
I was,
ribs
Jacob. I
during.
was, Ja-
So
Oh,
in
did
the
he?
second movie, you know when they're running in the
Jacob.
beginning of the movie, they're running and they're
Mhm,
chasing after Merry and Pippin. He has broken ribs during that. I think Gimli has a torn ACL or something messed up with his
Mhm.
knee.
Viggo
And then
Mortensen broke a bunch of shit. He broke his toe or
Viggo
something.
Mortensen has a broken toe during that. So
Oh,
like,
that was the
while
scene.
they're running, they're just they're hanging by a thread.
Mhm.
But most
I
of
like-
the shots of Gimli running are not John Rhys Davis. They're his double.
Oh, see,
The face Hugo Weaving made when he realized he signed on to play the voice of Megatron in the Michael Bay Transformers movie.
what did I do?
He
What
said
did I
that too
do?
recently. It's one of my. He apparently recently admitted is like he half-assed the performance, and they ran it through so many filters it wound up being okay anyway. And I was like, if I had a nickel for every time a really good actor
Played-
half-assed
yeah.
it in a Transformers movie and killed
Right.
the role, I'd have 2 nickels,
Dude.
which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it happened twice.
You're not even lying.
No,
You're not even lying. But yeah,
he's one of the
this
few
is where-
actual good parts of those movies. But
this was that foreshadowing in the beginning of the movie. Like this is where I was saying later on with this part, you find out that the ring could have been destroyed but because of
But
man.
Isildur did not.
Yeah, he
He
did
was
not.
there the day men failed.
I was there. The
Yeah.
world of men had no. So he's basically like, yeah, there's nothing good's going to come out of this, and we have to get out of here.
That's the first mention of that it's possible to resume the line of kings,
Yes, and this was an extra scene that was in the extended cut.
which directly also refers to that.
Yes,
and that's also this is the first time it suggests that Sean Bean might have an idea
of
who he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because he says that nothing more than a broken dream, or I forget the line exactly.
Did he actually cut his finger on that?
He did.
On that somehow. Because like that, I've seen some cut fingers in my time, and that looked pretty convincing. If that was a special effect.
If that wasn't real, that blood work is
excellent, right, for its time.
But
yeah,
this is have a tetanus shot straight off.
Something you don't want to run up your finger is something called the shards of Narsil. You don't know the last time.
Ain't no tetanus shot gonna fix whatever that gives you.
Yeah, this is where she's basically telling him, like, why? What are you so afraid of? Like, this
now he's got Sauron AIDS.
Yeah, that's a reaction to him getting his his finger pricked on the sword.
What was going to get pricked there, Lance? What are you trying to say, buddy?
Probably Orlando.
Don't put rude words into my mouth. I'm more than
sorry,
capable of
Lance.
doing that on my own.
Sorry. Yeah, this is where you get a lot of the romance back in the back stuff that wasn't.
This
not
is
in
the Vex Henry Cavill storyline that's been.
I thought I straight. This is what she said. This is what Vex says when she meets Henry Cavill. I thought I strayed into a dream.
Yeah.
It's it's true, Vex.
You did not have the cares you carry now.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
I will build you a gaming PC, Vex Electronic.
My husband is in the chat, by the way.
3 hours, 3 hours later,
you,
she's going to be on the couch with him. Wait. Spewing Warhammer 40K facts right into her ear.
Vex, did you wash behind your ears, ma'am?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Vex, have you seen Flight of the Conchords?
I have not, no.
Okay, tell your husband to watch that and look at the character of the fan who's got the husband locked in the basement.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus. What the hell? Okay.
I like where this is going. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, she likes it
all
already.
makes sense.
Here's where we get the meeting of the Fellowship, where they just kind of go into what's going on, what has to happen. Look, and again, look at the amazing work they did with the camera work. How tall is what's his name?
Elijah
How tall
Wood.
is he in
Weaving.
real life? Yeah, no, Frodo.
He's pretty short in real life. He's like
he's about
5'7", 5'8".
He's about
He's
5'7", 5'8". Yeah.
Okay, but still, like,
I think
I'm
he's
taller
composited
than
in the
Elijah
shot.
Wood. I did not know
Okay.
that.
When they were
I think
casting for the
he's green
Hobbits in
screened
London, everybody that
It looks
they
like it,
saw
right?
were between 5'5" and 5'8".
he does look green screened in.
Short
Yeah.
kings, but it's
But
really
it's still
good.
5'6".
done well. Yeah,
You can only tell because we're like staring at it.
I know. There's pretty boy Orlando Bloom. Yeah. Yeah, so
Here's the guy who gets killed in every movie talking.
yeah. This is where he was saying he had a dream about what might come, and then this is this part, Whitey, you did not like, right? Where he Gandalf gets pissed
this
off
is
and
the
uses
part of the
the
extended cut that I really didn't enjoy because black speak happened. No racism, but the
Sorry,
the
what is black speak?
Black
Yes,
speak is
It's
like
the speak of more
tongue of
Tongue.
Okay, gotcha.
door vibrating sound door. And anyway, so Gandalf has to dispel what evil, bad juju that's brought on the scene, and the whole scene just is so just does not fit. So
is that a woman or a man next to Gandalf there?
Yeah, I was
That's a
wondering
guy.
that.
It's a
Well,
twink,
with
but,
elves, it's actually
That's a
supposed
man?
to be that way. Like,
See, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
amazing.
They
That
look
looks like the guy that did that video about Britney Spears crying on YouTube.
leave Gandalf alone.
Leave Britney alone.
leave him alone. Yeah, so he wants. To
It
use
was
the
funny
ring.
if you look at Elrond's reaction while Gandalf is speaking black
pissed.
speak. He's just like, oh dear God. Not
Yeah,
again."
yeah. No, nobody's ever. What did he say? Like they haven't uttered those words, or they never have. In that, yeah. So
I would not have that speaking in my
So
domain.
this is where Pretty Boy Elf Boy here is telling basically who Aragon is. Like you should You should
He's
respect him because he
Aragorn, son of
technically he's the
Arathorn.
heir to the king. And
You owe him your allegiance.
look, his hair is not sweaty, and he looks clean for once.
He took.
Doesn't happen often. Doesn't happen often in
And
this
the
whole trilogy.
character, Aragorn, for the movie, they made him a reluctant leader, whereas in the book, he's he knows
is
what
the
he's
guy.
supposed to do.
The
But,
Britney
I
fans
prefer-
getting into this scene here. Look,
Oh yeah, look at
Oh yeah.
very
He's like, "Oh,
locked
my."
in there. Locked in.
Did you just pass gas, Gandalf?
He's like,
He smells the
no one
weed on
ever
Gandalf.
refers to that one ever. He's like, they didn't know Mulvaney's in the film.
Whoa.
Look, he's like, oh, that was a deep one.
That was a deep cut.
Oh my god! Gimli's over there.
Everybody
like,
looks like they smell the fart in church.
I can smell that from here.
Is that a boy or a girl?
And he's like, God damn you, Gandalf. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
He who smelt it
here's
has
the meme.
killed
This is
it.
the meme. The classic meme from this guy that fucking
One
passed
does not
around for
simply
20
walk into
yeah.
One does
One
not
does not
Welcome to
simply
Mordor.
walk into Westeros. Wait, shit.
Great
wrong
eye.
Welcome to memegenerator.com.
phone.
Yeah, so they want to destroy the ring and get the freaking was it Gimli?
Yeah, Gimli
Yeah.
breaks out.
I like how he's like, oh, let's destroy it, and he's like, everybody's like, no, that's not gonna work, and he
Oh,
tries.
that was a good
and-
way to demonstrate you can't just
You
do
can't,
that
yeah, the
because-
power.
Yeah.
Because
But
you know
they-
the fandom they try and poke holes in the plot of the film
Of course.
for everything. Their biggest favorite one is, oh, I didn't know eagles just fly off. Shut the fuck. It's the whole fucking point of an adventure is to go on the journey. It is
It is. Yeah.
Well,
Just
also,
shut
that's
up.
That's
so,
why you
um,
contact the Eagles Express all the way.
The
to
Eagles-
volcano.
Oh,
the Eagles went up against the what
Oh,
are the
the other
flying
movie, right?
beasts?
Yeah.
The flying beasts and
oh,
the ones that
yeah,
the nine ride in the second and
Nazgul,
third.
whatever.
Yeah.
The Nazgul.
They were busy doing eagle shit.
Eagles
They
kind
were
of
on
get wrecked by
board.
the Nazgul. Because you see it in
Well,
the third
yeah.
film, they're fighting and they're pretty even. And then on top of that, they got to carry a guy to the mountain. It's pretty impossible. The Eagles won't win. So
Fuck the Eagles.
I will
Oh,
take it.
true.
Yeah. So basically, Frodo gives himself up. He's like, I'm gonna go ahead and bear this burden. I'm gonna do it.
I
Why
love
not?
Ian McKellen's
Yeah.
reaction shot.
He closes
he's
his
like-
eyes like, oh shit.
Like
Yeah, well,
He's like-
he was trying to do everything he could to stop that from happening.
he felt bad. He's like, he shouldn't have to
Mhm.
bear this
Yeah.
burden, but he's like, all right. So it's just meant to be. Yeah. So then they all join in by saying, I'll give you my sword. I'll give you,
You have
my
my sword."
axe.
Orlando Bloom's, and you have my bow, and it's the only time he directly speaks to Frodo in the entire franchise.
Yep.
That is true. That is so true.
Actually, there's a theory that
He's gay.
Frodo
Also.
doesn't actually know his name, Legolas's name, because at the end where they're doing that weird scene where they're all jumping on a holly jolly on the bed, and you see them walk in, you see him mouth Gimli, you see him mouth Aragorn,
Oh,
and then when
yeah.
Legolas enters the room, he just says, "Oh." That's all he says.
Oh, yes, the other one. The other
So
He
one.
that's
does
what
not
happens.
say Legolas.
You.
Blondie.
I have
Yeah.
people that I work with that I don't know their names either because we just work together, but I don't like
Yeah.
if I don't hear someone saying their name or speaking their name,
Mhm.
like I don't go out of my way to learn too many. So
Yeah.
yeah, I understand that.
So they formed the fellowship, and
happens.
then this was in the extended cut, not in the original. Or is this?
Oh, I think we're at the end.
The
This is the end of the
first
first
Blu-ray ends
The end
at
of the first
forming
part,
of the
yeah.
Fellowship,
Right here.
Okay.
With the extended
So
cut.
this is Aragon's. Is this his mother
I believe so.
that he was kind of giving tribute to, and then they explain like why she left him there, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's good. It's a good scene.
it's all to do with kind of mortality, isn't it, and how long he might live, and
Yeah.
Made by
you
the
know
elves, you
whether
know.
he should have a relationship with.
Yes. Yes.
Her
And this is
or
where
not.
this is where Bilbo basically is like, here, take my sword. It's made by the elves. Here, what's the material he gives him? Mithril.
Mithril.
Mithril, like body
It's
armor.
hard
and
as
then
dragon scales.
this is where he turns into he turns
Yeah,
into Gollum
coming.
for a second because he wants the ring back. He's like, "Oh God, I'm sorry for him."
Yes.
And then,
This is
Please
what happens
forgive
when you
me.
stay in Congress too long. Poor
Yeah,
thing.
you get to wear that waistcoat
I'm
as well.
sorry. They
Comes
made
with
me
the
do
top.
it. even though I fell up the stairs a bunch of times. Yeah, and this is where he gives him the speech, and the fellowship is good to go. And
No, watch out for corn pop.
that is where part 1
He is a bad dude.
ends.
Oh yeah,
for the stream, because we will be back for part 2. So
I did like this little scene right here, and it was not in the it was in the extended versions where he's walking away and he has to whisper very discreetly, "Okay, Gandalf,
oh yeah,
which way
Gandalf, where do we go?
to the left.
yeah. Which way? Like left
The
or
right
and
goes
then
to
he
hell.
bounces.
You don't want to go
There
there."
you go. Yep.
Turn to page 17 if you go
They
left.
leave Rivendell. And that's where part
love those.
1 of the stream ends, because this is a 2-parter.
Ray, I got to stay for the whole thing.
Yeah, you did good, buddy.
Yeah, it was.
You did
It was
Vex and
know.
Andrew got the cheat code that came in.
Sorry, yeah. Didn't
I
expect
took
that
a
to
warp
be
pipe
honest.
to the
all
last
good.
third
No,
of the
it's-
movie.
Vex,
it's
just so you
actually
know, you've
perfect
got
timing.
3 rings in my intro. So
Oh yeah, he gave her intro. You can read it again to her if you want.
That was great. Go back and watch it.
Yes,
great.
yes, you have
All
to.
right.
It was funny. He made it
The-
specifically.
yeah. The line for you was 3 were given to the Vex, princess of the cross-stitch pattern cushions, unfair is the redeemed, ruler of the kingdom of dead cats. But I did it in a more Lord of the Rings-esque.
Yeah, it
voice.
was
Yeah.
good. It was good. It's okay.
The room got all dark around him and shit.
Yeah, that's right.
So I guess so we don't have trivia, we don't have ratings yet, but if we have to go around, what do we think of so far the first half of the Fellowship of the Ring extended edition? Lance, what do you think so far? I mean, I know you've seen it many times, but thoughts overall in the
I
first half of
saw
the
it.
movie?
The first time I saw it, it was released on the special editions,
Mm.
and I was one of those people that like went in first thing in the morning. I actually took the day off work. My flatmate took the day off work because he knew I was buying it, so that he could watch it with me when I got it home, and we just watched it straight through. I've also seen it at the cinema twice as well. And one of the things I really like about it is that the more you watch it, there's always little details that you keep picking up on.
Yeah,
Like that background shot with Bree in the background.
Little, subtle
I
things.
noticed
Yeah.
that before. I just think it fleshes out not only the backstory and the world building, but just lots of details that make character motivations more understandable.
Sure.
And make sense. Also fleshes out a lot of the performances. There's lots of nice bits. When we heard that Aragorn was going to be singing in it, we were all a bit like, not sure about that. It sounds
Because that was
X
added in,
Factor.
yeah.
But
It was good.
but then it works, you
Mhm.
know. And it's good that that's in, because then the bit in Return of the King works.
Yes. Oh, yes. At the end,
Because
yeah, it
we've
makes more
already
sense.
seen him
Mhm.
sing. It doesn't
Not
mean
a
that we
shock,
want an
yeah.
album with his top 10 hits on it to be released or anything. But
If they
I'm
made
not
it
sure
these
I'd- not
days, it
sure
would
I'd
have been
go
some
for that.
hip hop dance number like they did on Star Trek the other day. It would be
Oh,
ridiculous.
God, don't even
Oh,
get me started on
gosh.
that.
Mate, don't get me
Don't
started
even
on the Klingon
Ruined a
K-pop.
whole,
sequence.
yeah.
Mm.
I'd give Lord of the Rings
Well, the first half. You could at least rate the
Fellowship
first
of the
half.
Ring Part 1 10 out of 10 on IMDb.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Mr. Douglas, so far, the first half of the movie, what are your thoughts?
No Tom Bombadil, 0 out of 10.
There's a cat on the bed.
In all seriousness, I think it starts really strong, but admittedly, because it's doing so much to set up, and there is so much to kind of go through and set up, and before the ball really starts to get going, I'd probably say maybe about a 7 out of 10, because I have to admit, I'm really want to get to the more action-oriented parts where some of the plot really starts to kick off. And although I understand the need to have a slow burn start, it's still, there was a reason why every time I used to watch the film, every time it got to Frodo drifting off, I wanted to take a nap, because usually by that point I was expecting more stuff to happen. So
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of build up.
but yeah, I mean, the rest of the movie is going to get a much
it gets
different
much
score.
better, yeah, as it goes on.
So yeah, let's say about a 7 out of 10 for the slow burn start. Really kicks off real good, slows down a little, picks up some more towards the end once we start to get to really good plot stuff. I'm always for a good sit down plot talk to end a particular chapter.
All right, Andrew. So far, the first half of the movie in general, what do you think?
Well, I'm in the camp that I don't like Tom Bombadil as a character. I really hated him in the book.
You're not alone. You're not alone, Andrew.
Tom
I skipped
Bombadil and
that
his
bit.
like friend, I forget, like, but yeah,
Steve.
this is my favorite movie. And yeah, it's a 10. I'll talk more about it once we watch the full movie, but yeah, it's a 10.
Of course. Oh, what about you, Vex? What do you think of the
Um,
first half of Lord of the Rings?
Honestly, I think the first movie in this entire trilogy is a perfect 10 out of 10. I don't
Okay.
I don't think there's like I'm not a huge fantasy person in all honesty. I read through the books once in high school, but I don't really remember
Wow.
them anymore.
Okay.
It's
a lot of detail.
Yeah, it's a lot of detail. And it was very densely worded, we'll say. So it doesn't
Mhm.
I don't remember it. But like I remember when I first saw the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I was like, whatever. And then I rewatched it 2 years ago. I was like, why the fuck did I ever think this was whatever? This is amazing.
I think a lot of people feel that way about the
It does
trilogy.
Yeah.
get better upon more and more viewing, especially when you're comparing it to shit that comes out these days.
There you go. And it's
Like
like
marriage.
it's aged. It's aged beautifully as well.
Yeah.
Like even the
holds
CG in
up.
a lot of instances still hold up to what we have today, right?
Mhm.
But I think the pacing is really good throughout this entire movie. It's got enough world development that I don't feel lost and that I can adequately understand, who all the different races are, what their purpose is in Mordor and whatnot, what the motivations of all the characters are. When the action picks up in the second half, which we'll visit at the end of the month, it stays consistent and it's not
Mhm.
over the top. It's not ridiculous. It works the way that
Yeah.
like Peter Jackson really made like a masterpiece with all three of these movies.
Yeah.
And I think that The Fellowship is the best of the like movie wise. I think it's my favorite of the three
Yeah,
for those reasons.
I would agree.
Fair score.
Absolutely.
Mr. Cocaine Bear, White Bear. What about you, buddy? What do you think of the first?
Here's the actor.
there's
that
the- Yeah, he was
That's
awesome.
the
supposed
original
to do it?
Aragorn, right?
I
was the
thought that's
original.
you leaning out of shot to do some cocaine.
Man,
He doesn't want to show it on stream. Thanks, but I appreciate that.
All right.
You go
So,
ahead, buddy.
I have to give it 10 out of 11 11sies because it was, I mean, no matter what.
Second breakfast.
Nobody's gonna make you watch a Sharpie. Don't worry.
Yeah, maybe.
You can watch it with the
but,
streams.
I don't know. It's to me, coming from playing tons of fantasy games and all the Richard
I bet you
Garriott
are.
Ultima games, back in the day, seeing all these things where people have taken Tolkien's his fiction, applied them to their stories and all that. It was amazing seeing all this come to life. So the only thing that it could have been improved was maybe less races in it.
Less races?
less racism or
less
just racism?
Racisms or races?
Nah, just less races.
You sick.
Less
bastard.
races.
You sick bastard.
There's only like 6 races in it.
Too
can't
many
keep
for
up.
Fast White Bear.
Five
Too many
too
for
many
me.
for
Too
White
many.
Bear.
You're a sick man, White Bear. Yeah, I gotta agree. I think it's a great setup. First half of the movie's fantastic. It's a little slower than maybe some of the other movies. It's still so good. It's just world building, character building, and then yes, from here on out, it gets even better. This movie because the action kicks in. Like Vex said, everything just fits. So Jackson had his work cut out for him, and he nailed it. So I would give this a 10 out of 10 so far. And then, of course, we'll be back at the end of the month to discuss the ending of the movie. I think that's August 28th. I
Yep.
believe is that Monday.
August 28th.
And then so next week we are coming back on the 14th, and I believe we have Movie Cynic on.
The Batman, yes.
The
we're doing
Batman. Yeah, his favorite
Batman.
movie, The Batman. So we have Cynic. We have
Hold on,
who
let me
else?
look at the
Oh,
calendar. I
God.
don't remember who. we have on
Movie
there.
Cynic, Josh McDonald is coming on, and Rev Roma are all coming on for
Oh,
that stream.
so 2 of those guests are going to be first times here, which
Yes,
is nice.
yes. So that's going to be fun. And then, of course, we'll be back for this on August 28th. So let's go around the room real quick. Lance, talk about
Yeah,
what
buddy.
you got going on, sir. What do you got coming up?
I put a picture for you to share.
Oh, excuse me.
So
Oh,
the Tuesday after your next stream on Monday, I'm interviewing Debbie Reynolds on my channel. That's her doubling in The Matrix 2 and 3. But she's got 400 stunt credits on IMDb.
Wow.
And her first job was doubling Linda Carter in Wonder Woman in the
Oh,
1970s.
wow.
But she's done every single Fast and Furious movie except for I think one or two. So like
Right.
eight or nine of them, however many there's been. She's got an incredible career. I had to do a 2-hour interview with her to prep the interview, to go through all of her credits to discuss which ones we were going to talk about and what ones she had stories to tell. And I mean, that's a long list out of those.
I can imagine.
400. So it's going to be a really interesting interview. I mean, this is someone who's worked in the film industry for
Years.
5 or 6 decades.
Yeah. Wow. Good for her.
I just interviewed a first-time filmmaker today, who's just done his second feature film. He's got a premiere in a couple of weeks. So I thought I was trying to help him sell tickets for his premiere, but he's already sold 300, so he's doing pretty good. He was on earlier today.
Nice.
And then we're doing our top 3 favorite Michael Mann films before the end of the month, and we're doing a Judge Dredd comparison, Stallone's and the more recent ones.
Oh God, it's not even.
I've got quite a few interesting streams coming up, and continuing my fantasy stream, doing the Lone Wolf Adventures. If any of you know what that is, they're choose your own adventure books, and I'm doing them all live on the channel because it's just something I always wanted to do. So keep him busy. Oh, and I got monetized today.
Congratulations!
Yeah, so did John.
So did I. That was crazy.
Actually, I think a big part of that, Cannoli, was down to your community. Really, and I saw a lot of your regular guys and girls. Their names were all popping up on my
Good.
Twitter, and everybody.
Yeah, I kind of pulled the
Tony channel, and I've watched that. So
I pulled the Tony Soprano and threatened them to watch your stuff until you hit
right.
monetization.
So, whoever you may or may not have threatened, a big thank you to everyone who went.
There might be some people with missing thumbs, but hey, you know what? At least you got monetized now. So.
Well, I got a lot of watch hours in a couple of days. I jumped up by about 300 watch hours. It was really incredible. So
yeah,
thank
you. I'm glad. I'm very happy for you on that. Awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And Lance's information's in the description. Mr. Douglas, congratulations on monetization, by the way.
It's been a bit of a slow grind. The Razor Fist interview kind of pushed me over the top with that.
That was great.
Holy shit! Good. I got like over 70 new subs and way more hours out of that. And that was very nice of him to come on and talk his books with me. And it's been a bit of a grind. Like I knew it was going to take a little while to really start building up, but I think I've really built up something interesting and special with my channel, and then that I am in a lot of different circles. I'm in your circle, in the Iron Age, in the fantasy booktuber areas.
It's like a ring.
And yeah, I've been calling the phrase I've been using is circle breaking and trying to get people to break out of their little circles. I know a couple of authors who are like they're always talking to each other, but they're never talking to anyone kind of outside that. And it's like, look, you branch out, go to different places, talk to different communities, get outside perspectives other than your own. And it's really brought a lot of really good, fun content creators and indie authors, indie comic creators, especially into my fold. And I enjoy all of them. And this has completely replaced how I used to watch TV and movies constantly. Mm-hmm. And I've been so disenfranchised and disappointed with everything Hollywood's done in the last 2 to 3 years. Like,
you're not the only one, dude.
Yeah, I'm at the point of just complete apathy with it. Like this right here, this is my entertainment now. This right here is my entertainment now. I don't give a shit about any more new Star Wars. I don't want to hear anything about the new MCU garbage that they decide to shit on your plate. People have been eating shit for so long, they've convinced themselves they like the taste. And sorry,
quite nutty.
I enjoy this a lot better than all of that. That's why I don't just, try to showcase people's work on my channel. I have 2 live streams, the Author's Outpost and the Signal Boost. And that is exactly what they're for, is signal boosting individuals with their stuff that they're making, as well as my own book, which hopefully will come out sometime in October, The Black Crown, which is my debut fantasy book that I've been working on for several years now, and I'm
Awesome.
very
Oh,
close
John,
to
come on
releasing.
my channel and talk about that, please.
I will absolutely do that.
We'll have you everywhere, John. We'll have you
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah. Come on, and I want to do an author stream. So when it's coming up for release, come on the channel and we'll tie it in timing wise.
Don't worry, you won't miss it. I will not be able to shut up about it. This is a childhood dream
good.
finally
You
being
can talk about it
realized.
for 90 minutes then.
But Vex and Andrew, y'all missed it earlier in the stream. I was mentioning there is, for anyone who wants to know, contact me on Twitter because that there is we were talking about The Hobbit for very briefly, and nobody really cares for it. They're very, and I was waiting for someone to do this. Someone made an edited version of the Hobbit movies, takes out all the bloat, the nonsense, the story inconsistencies, things that people didn't like and complained about the most, and made it one solid 4-hour movie. And I have the link to that if anyone's curious.
I'm curious.
Man.
I haven't seen the
Over to
Hobbit
me.
films yet.
Don't.
Just watch this.
That's what everyone's told me, so I haven't
Just
bothered.
don't watch this.
Just read the book and then just act like
Right.
that.
Isn't
They
it a short?
padded it.
It's a short book too, right? The Hobbit.
Yeah,
It
they
is.
padded
Yes.
it. Yeah, it's not that. It's not that thick. I got it right here. Damn it!
Breaking every. Oh yeah,
So-
Thinner than any of the Lord of the Rings books.
yeah. Look at that. That's
Yeah.
nothing. And they turned it into 3 movies. That's so bad. So bad.
President of the Jim Wilborn fan club. Is that you, John?
That is me. Jim Wilborn is one of my favorite new independent authors. He's the author of The Seventh Cadence, which, if you like Robert Jordan or Brandon Sanderson, this is definitely up your alley.
Nice.
Jim is a very nice guy too. Where was I going with this? Anyway, yeah, I have the link. I have the link to that if anyone's curious and wants
send me,
that.
I'll hit you up after the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, John's information is in the description as well. All his links and everything. So please, Andrew, you beautiful mustache man, tell us what you got coming up there, buddy.
Well, what month is it? August.
Yeah,
We got Blue Beetle coming out. Other than that, I can't. What else comes out in August? I don't
thanks,
know.
Jacob.
Any movie that I care to think of, I'll do a review of it. Probably, most likely, Blue Beetle. And then September/November, it's going to be Dune, and then Captain or The Marvels. And then
Help you.
in terms of long form content, I'm still working on my Temple of Doom critique, which turned out is getting longer and longer.
It's a lot to critique, huh? That's awesome.
So
Yeah, looking forward to that. His information is in the description as well. Please check his stuff out. Fantastic work. Vex Electronica coming hot off the Oppenheimer review from yesterday. Good work as always, of course.
Thank you.
So what else do you have coming up?
Sorry, nothing.
Oppenheimer review is up, so you can go check that out. I know it's a little bit late, so it's not hitting the algorithm as nicely as I would have hoped, but it is. People wanted it, so I put it out there.
Did you like it?
I did. I really enjoyed Oppenheimer. I would rank it as top 3 films I've seen so far this year.
The review is the bomb.
I have one question about Oppenheimer. Was the actual explosion very impressive?
I think everything leading up to the explosion was far more impressive than the actual explosion.
I wouldn't have minded if you used a smidge of CGI with the bombing.
Because I remember the thing I heard about it when I was impressed that really kind of caught my ear was that they had somehow managed to replicate the nuclear explosion as closely as possible without actually using atomic power. And I was like, well, I kind of wonder what that looked like, but I wasn't interested enough to actually go see it.
It looked good.
I think it's fantastic.
I think
The bombing looked good. Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
I think it's probably one of Nolan's best directed movies as of late.
Yeah.
And probably ever, maybe.
Was the sound
thought
good?
about that.
Because his movies notoriously got issues with sound. Like
There's some Nolan.
Tenet was shit.
Well, the movie has Nolanisms just
It
inherently.
has a lot of
There's some
Nolanisms.
mumbled dialogue, if that's where you're going with that.
A little
for sure.
bit. It's better
And-
than Tenet, but
And
Yeah.
the music definitely overbears as well. Personally,
Yeah.
just for what the film is
I agree,
discussing
Gord.
and where it's
Listen.
taking place, it kind of works for it. But that's my opinion.
the score can do whatever it wants. The score was
The
fantastic.
score is
That's the
fantastic.
only
Yeah.
reason I went back a second time. I was just like,
It's
I'm
so
just gonna
good.
listen to
It's
this
so
and vibe.
I think you would
Um,
enjoy it. It's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a very solid biopic, so I do recommend it, and it was well worth it in IMAX as well. But other than that, tomorrow I will be on Scene Invaders at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Awesome.
We're just going to be talking movies and TV. That's basically it.
Good.
Whatever we've been watching recently, what we recommend.
Awesome.
I will definitely be reviewing Blue Beetle in a couple weeks because I can't stay away from representation media at all.
Did you see they upped its domestic take? It's up in the 30 million now instead of
They
17
think-
million.
That's
Oh, man.
normal though for it to happen in the weeks leading up to a release. They always will change the figures.
Listen,
So
it ain't making it.
I wish
I don't
the
think it's-
cast
I don't
would
think-
shut the fuck up.
That's the
Because
problem.
I actually like the Blue Beetle, and I think in a minority. I think some people have been shitting on comic book movies for so long that, like when I saw the visuals for Blue Beetle, I
Exceptional.
liked
It's not
them. I
bad.
think it looks good, visually speaking. It's got to be an effects heavy film, but the cast won't shut the fuck up about politics and representation, and it's like you're killing my interest here.
I think they know the movie's going to be a dud.
well, that's
and
exactly
they're just
why they're
prepping for it.
doing it because there's
That's
nothing
why.
else interesting to say. About
Andrew's
the movie.
right. I agree with it. I don't think it's hitting $30 million. I think they're just
Yeah,
putting
I
that
mean-
out there to gain interest. But
Yeah, they're desperate.
But yeah, I hope nothing else gets pushed back because of this writer's strike. Because I do.
No, I don't think it's going to. I think
they have to hold.
they would have already delayed it. I
Like
think.
Dune would have been
I
pushed back
do.
already, yeah.
Gran Turismo got pushed back because they couldn't
Really?
promote it. Yeah.
So
So
Cole
Well,
that-
I mean, was anyone going to go see that movie anyway? It just didn't look
That'd
good
be-
at all.
Hey, Drinker actually said on Twitter earlier that he thought it
He
was
liked
good.
it.
Yeah,
he liked
Yeah,
it.
he saw it?
He said it on BSEP as well. He thought it was actually pretty solid.
Yeah,
they're still doing the early screenings. They still did those, but they're pushing back the release date 2 weeks. So I
Okay.
don't,
Yeah, because Drinker's in the States right now.
He's going to Texas. Or,
So
yeah,
he's
right.
actually over with you guys right now.
yeah.
Lucky us.
But yeah, I because Craven the Hunter got pushed back, and I was actually one of the few people looking forward to that.
yeah,
keep pushing
we
that
know
until it
why.
falls
We
into
know
the
why
grave.
you want to see that, Vex.
Is Henry Cavill in that?
No, it's her other second love.
No, I just think he's a good actor.
just giving
It's,
you shit. I'm
it's
just
a
giving-
nice coincidence that he looks good as well.
Who's
agree with
this now?
Sharpie.
Sorry.
No one, Lance. I don't need any more of your poetry.
You know what? Her husband. It's okay.
I think the movie that I will bet on that's not going to move is going to be Dune 2 because it already
no,
has
there's
Oh.
no way.
a built-in
It's
fan
too
base.
big. Yeah,
June
the-
2's gonna be good.
it's gonna make its money anyway. It doesn't. They don't need
Yeah,
to move it.
that
so
movie's
it's
gonna
stupid.
hype.
I am such
no,
a Dune
yeah.
fan.
No, the Marvels.
Ugh.
I hope that doesn't get pushed back because.
Hey,
I
by
wanna
the
make
way,
the money.
The Little Mermaid's going to Disney Plus soon. You're all gonna watch it, or
No.
Yay!
yeah?
I
let's
think
watch
it's
that.
already. I think it's already out over here on.
Over there.
online.
Here it's next month. Yeah, but Vex's information, of course, is in the description. Please check her out. She's fantastic.
I
White
just-
Bear. Sorry, go ahead, Lance. What are you gonna say? What the?
I
f- wait,
just
what?
subscribed to Vex's channel just now.
Oh, there you go. You got an
Thank
extra
you.
sub now. You got an extra sub.
I thought
Yeah,
I had
White
to
Bear-
do
Take my
that,
sub, dude.
White Bear,
So
what are you
sorry about that.
doing?
I'm looking for the next time I have time to edit a video, man. It won't be anytime
Me and you
soon,
both.
but next video that'll come out on White Bear 3 is showing people how to fix a Kenmore clothes dryer all the proper ways. So doodly do.
Well, White Bear, we love you anyway, but your
Hold
info
on,
is in
hold
the
on.
description.
Can you highlight
on.
this comment here from White Bear?
Which one?
Wait, which can I interest you in?
Gran Torino.
Torino.
Like Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood, or did you mean to say Gran Turismo?
You meant Gran Turismo, right?
No. Yeah, we don't have a Gran Turismo review or anything, or talking about it or anything, but we do have a Gran Torino if they want to go back.
I'll
and
go back and
that.
watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the channel. You can. Yeah. Okay, let's get off of Whitey's lawn here and end the stream. So yeah, for my channel, Friday, the Connolly Connection's back. Me and the Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch, now her new name. We're interviewing Bagface, and yeah, actually, Bagface gave me permission to ask him some of the information off his video today. So what happened there? So watch his video, but we are going to get deeper into that story on Friday and talk about his history. Dude's very interesting. I love Bagface. He's great. So I'm very looking forward to getting to know him a little more. And
Sounds like a character from a horror film. bag
He looks
face.
like a
Kind of
character
is.
for.
Yeah.
He looks like
He's
a
got a
character.
black arm, like an all
Yeah.
black arm.
Right.
And he's a
so-
black man. So see, I'm not racist. I let colored people onto my.
He is Canadian,
So-
so just watch out.
That
for
is true.
Yeah.
That is true. So look
And
out
he
for
lives
that.
in the worst part of Canada.
He
on top of
does,
that.
unfortunately, but he's got a very interesting backstory. I'm very happy, very excited to get into that. And then, yeah, look out for
You
that
get to find out how he got the bag on his face.
on his face. Why?
Mhm.
Well, I
on
kinda
his face.
I understand why his name Bagface a little more now. We're looking forward to that. Yeah, so check that out. You can find me on the socials and community page and all that. And that's basically it. So we will be back next week for the Batman, and Movie Cynic gets to defend his favorite movie, one of his favorite movies. So good luck with that. That's it. Everybody say goodnight, and we will see you next week. And we love you. Thank you to the chat. You guys were amazing tonight.
Thanks,
and
guys.
I will
Thanks
see
for
you
having me
next
on.
time. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.